What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
some of Mel's hands, or actually more accurately, some more of Mel's hands. All right, Andy, you're up first. You got Queen 10, and it is folded to you. You are in the low jack.
That's that's a fold most of the time, I believe.
Yep. Yep.
But I'm assuming we're not doing that, so let's open it up.
Okay. Yeah.
I
So
think
yeah,
I think I would generally elect to fold that in the low jack.
yeah.
Hijack, I think we can maybe start opening in it unless all that our table is just super weak and passive. We're never getting three bet, and the players behind us kind of, we've looked to our left and we've got an indication that they're probably most likely folding.
Yeah. So this is a very good open from the cutoff and a mixture from the hijack. But if you see two people are folding, you are in the cutoff, and so that's what Mel saw. All right. So you raised, get called in position.
Notes on the cutoff player, Mel?
Not much, except for the fact that he sat down with a broken stack and that it seemed that he wasn't. So these hands are still from the European Championships, but it seemed that this player was not a tournament player, but was more like a casino guest who thought that, the welcome chips or like sitting down with 30 big blinds is a good idea.
Is
Gotcha.
Okay.
there any reason that you think he might be a passive player?
He's a fish playing off a broken stack. He's probably overly passive.
I
Yeah.
mean, like these are just like impressions that I had, right? But at least at that population, you could see a clear distinction between people who were there for fun and who were just regular casino guests. And then, the grinders from East Europe who come with their little man bag and the cap and the super serious. And so like you see it a little bit, but obviously the broken stack is the clearest indication.
Then I'm just going to go ahead and bet. And because we're still relatively small absolute size, I'm probably going to come out and bet like 20. I'm just going bet here, I think, unless the board texture changes dramatically.
That works. Mel bets small to start with. Gets a call. Turns the 9.
Who's doing this hand?
This is Andy.
I don't think it's a terrible hand card. I think I'm still going to keep betting.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to bet. I'm probably going to keep betting until they give me a reason not to. So I'm going to go ahead and fire like 30 here.
Okay. Mel goes 15. Yeah, I think at this point you can go a little bit bigger, Mel. And the two things that we're seeing here are when they've got another queen, they're not folding, and often, sure, one of the straights came in, the jack 8 and the jack king, but often their queen or their 10 is paired with either a 9 or a jack, right? Queen jack, queen king, 10 jack, 10 9. Those are the ones that are sort of in that range that are being played. So a lot of them are to call, and you still have most of them beat. So I would go bigger here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but the line is great. Okay, he raises you.
I I mean, this is almost he either has 9-10 and just turn two pair, or he's got a hand or he's got king jack or jack eight. I'm gonna call and assess though. I'm not folding yet.
Yeah. Um, Depending on the size, we may have to fold the river, but I agree.
Yeah.
He can be betting something weaker.
Yes, he could think that his queen nine or his 10-9 is value
Yep.
and
Yep.
value on himself still. So
Right. And we do have 4 outs. I don't expect we're going to
yes,
get them, but like that. Yep. Okay.
we're gonna check and assess.
Yeah. Okay. So the Andy's line here is very standard, check and assess. The interesting thing about your line is that he's not, I don't think he's going to raise you with his two pair now. And you've sort of set the price. You've eliminated the option of a bluff, but a really big bluff he was going to fold to. So while non-standard, I think this bet does something. I think this bet really does do something. And then you just fold to a raise. I wouldn't have thought of doing it. Let's see what he does. He calls.
Yeah, I actually
We
like
win.
it. I really like it.
Yeah, yeah. We could lose to Jack 8, but Jack 8 was probably betting bigger than 50. So nice. King
And we
queen.
don't know if he overweights a
Oh, I
hand like
love
this,
it.
right? Let's say we check and he bets like pot. No, we
Yeah.
don't feel happy. So yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too. That resembled a stop bet a little bit, a freeze bet by him in position on turn.
All right.
So he was
Nice.
on this wet texture. He's probably letting a check back anyway. So I
All
think
right.
you
We have
got
another-
$50 in value.
That turn bet very, very well could have been just buying the showdown.
Yeah. And he
Yeah, it's
didn't.
freeze bet.
Yep. So got another hand, Mel? All right, here it is.
Yes, put it in the chat.
Okay, this is going to be Larry.
Sure.
Here we go, Larry. Your pocket fives.
All
On the
right.
button.
We haven't opened a 10. We see 1, 3, 400 big blinds deep. We can set mine. We just flat. I'm not going to 3-bet someone necessarily with fives.
Yep, exactly. And you can also fold it. But
Yeah, you
set
can
is
fold it.
just-
Yeah, folding is fine.
Yep. And Jonathan Little is never folding this. So great. And the biggest thing we want to do, look left in both. How often do they 3-bet? And is anybody prepping for a 3-bet?
No.
All right. So we just look. We don't always see it, but we always look. All right. There we go. Call. Perfect.
All right.
All right. Goes check
Board.
to you.
I'm not particularly interested in turning this into a bluff. We win sometimes, not most of the time.
Yeah.
Goes to river.
Yep.
And we don't have a 5 diamonds, so I'm going to check back.
I like it. Turn. Another diamond. Check.
I don't think this is a bluff. I think we win 20% of the time, but it's just not worth bluffing.
Okay.
We'll check
I
it.
would strongly consider bluffing. I don't know that I would do it, but I would consider it. Let's see what Mel does. Also, playing live, let's see just how not interested they are.
Yeah.
You know, people try to hide when they're interested. They don't try to hide as much when they're not interested because they're not interested.
Good point.
We check it. We have some showdown value. Fine. 7. Check.
So this is a clear check back.
Okay.
It's hard. I mean,
We're just going to lose to a 10, a 6, or a 7, and just so.
I think that, I mean, so when you look at this, you want to ask yourself, is there a thin value? If I bet, can I bet called by anything worse?
No, we're
And the
bluffing.
answer is no. So, unless we want to turn our 5s to a bluff, we can check back and win probably a quarter of the time.
Alright.
All right. So
We're gonna turn our
yeah.
fives into a
So
bluff.
you're saying you have a flush here or 4 or 5.
Flush.
So
We're saying you have a flush.
Yes.
it's kind of I think if you're going to turn this into a bluff, which is fine, I think you want to start on turn, especially against 2 ranges. You want to tell a story. And you're not telling a story as much here.
Right.
And I think it's more likely that you're going to get hero called. If I was going to turn this into a bluff, I would, on turn, I'd bet about 10. And then let's say we get 1 caller that gets us to a $50 pot. On river, I would bet 75. And now I'm telling the story of having a queen, king, or ace of diamonds. But here, the issue is that when we look back at our work in the solver on Friday and we think about the city map, city graph, we're in the middle of our range. You know, we have a hand that can win sometimes. It's not going to win all the time. It's gonna win less than half the time, but sometimes it's gonna win. It has some showdown value. So we can check it back and just realize our equity. So I think this bluff needs to be constructed across two streets, turn and river.
Yeah. Now, if you're gonna go for this last one, because you don't have the two streets, you have two competing theories working at you. One is because you only get to tell them once, you have to tell them big. But the other thing is no hand of yours is believable that wants to go big here. That's the problem, that checks the turn and then wants to go big on the river. Now, if they can't
Man.
read that, because what we really want is we want the 7, 6, and 10 to fold, and we'd love to have a small diamond fold. Yeah, 4, 5, but 4, 5 is a straight, and I wouldn't bet a straight into this for value. I would only bet a diamond for value, and everything else is a bluff or a check back. That's the problem. Now, we don't know that they're going to read that. And they got to, they really have to have a diamond to call you. It just has to be a bad diamond, because I still don't want to call you with a 10, even though your line doesn't make sense. All right, let's
Yeah,
see what
this
happens.
would work sometimes, but I don't think it's the most efficient bluff.
Yep. And then, of course,
You get
we
punished.
fold. Oh my. Oh
Okay.
my.
This, I'm gonna argue this is a blunder, Melanie. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I know, but I'm bringing the blunder hands.
Good.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a blunder. He's got jack or higher, queen or higher, probably flushing.
Anyway, I call and he mucks his hand after he sees my fives.
Oh my
Interesting.
God.
Like
Wow.
maybe some context, like the guy to my left, player 2, he was like a young guy, but all the dealers knew him by name, offered him to sit at juicier tables. He was extremely aggressive. I saw him bluffing several times against several players at the table and specifically on the river. And so I thought, and because he was so aggressive, if he would have had anything whatsoever that would have connected with the board, he would have already bet earlier. Like, he's not the trappy kind. And I already sat at the table for a few hours. And so I then thought it was a 3x raise over me, right? I bet 40. Yeah. So I was thinking his range has to contain about 20% of bluffs for me to be able to call in a profitable way. Maybe my math is off, but I thought I don't have to be good that many times. And if he would have had anything, so the only thing that I lose against is like if indeed he would have had a 6 or a 7. But again, I think he is not afraid of the flush, like, at all. So that's why I did what I did.
Well, he's
Gotcha.
repping a flush because he doesn't think you have
Yeah.
a flush.
He's repping a flush, and he had to check it, and he had to check the turn and check the river.
I mean, against an
I
overbet,
don't
like,
believe this guy would do it. Wow.
like
That's
would you even check raise as an overbet? Like king high flush and better? I don't even know if I do the king high flush in this weird line. I might just call.
Yeah, I mean, I think you construct a bluff here. I think, and congratulations on winning his hand, but I think that you want to construct a bluff from turn. You want to tell a story. And as Lewis points out in chat, I think what happened here is he thought you were bluffing, so he rebluffed you. And you got sticky because you had a little backstory to say.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Next hand. Yes. So, so when you said you need to win 20% of the time, let's just do that one piece of the math and clean that up. So on the river, to call this bet, you have to put in 110, and the pot at the end will be 331. But at this moment, so at this moment, you're going to put in 110, and the pot is 220. So it is 2-1 that the pot is giving, 2-1 that the pot is giving you, and that is 1 in. That will be 1 in 3. So You need to win 33% of the time to make this profitable, not 20%. So that's the only thing about it. And wow.
Yeah,
you
like
gotta the way
what
to
I
look at
meant
this
is, what I meant with that is I know that I need 33%, but if that is the case, and I have to think about whether I'm calling the bet on the river, I need to think that there are 20% of bluffs in Willen's range. And I think that is the case after what I've seen.
Oh yeah, I think, but it doesn't have to be more than that because to win this hand, he has to be bluffing. And you need to win this hand 1/3 of the time. So he has to have 1/3. He has to have 33% bluffs because you can only beat a bluff. And by the way, he could be bluffing with a 6. So it makes it go down. It makes your you need him to be bluffing maybe a little more than that. Where do you get the 20% he needs to be bluffing? Maybe I'm doing the math wrong, but I don't think so.
Maybe I'm doing the math wrong.
Yeah.
I have it from some chart that I got.
Okay. I think so what we have here is
Break
on the
even
river,
is 33%.
33%. So we have to win 33% of the time. We only beat a bluff, therefore he has to be bluffing more than 33% of the time for us to win. There is no value. There is no hand that he is betting here that is worse than us that we don't call a bluff. And then there's the little
To be
problem.
against when he was showing black fives.
For 33% pot odds, he has to have 25% bluffs and 75 value. Why is that, Bub?
it's
Why is it not-
67-33, Bob, not
Yeah, it should be
25-75.
67-33. What do we turn on your mic, Bub, and explain your.
Oh, sorry. So I hope that's correct. But if he bets 1/3, it's a 1/3 raise, right? It's 33
No,
raise.
it's one. It's
No, it's
1/3
more
of the
than a
final
third.
pot. It's not a third of the pot. Note the pot here. The pot is we bet 40, bringing the pot to
you're
71,
right.
and he goes to 150. So he calls our bet, and that brings the pot to 150, and then he adds another 100 on top. He's not betting 1/3 of the pot. He's betting 2/3 of the pot. We have to
Okay.
put in 1/3 of the final pot.
True. Okay, let's say the pot is 2 and Willem bets 1, then it would be the same situation, right?
Let's see. Ratio wise, he puts 150 into a pot of 71. So he's betting 2 times the pot. And if the pot was 100, he would be putting in 200. I'm sorry, he would be putting, if the pot is the pot's 71 now, and he puts in a total of 150. So if the pot was only, no, it's not, no, it's just 10. No, the difference is because the difference is 10% less. So he'd be putting in 135. He'd be putting 135 into a pot of the 100. Yeah. So. The most important, so yes, I believe the number is he has to have at least 1/3, he has to have at least 33% bluffs for this to be profitable. And of those bluffs, none of them can be with a 7 or a 6. Those don't count as bluffs for our bluff catcher. But
We just have to win
if we play the
33% of the time.
right, but
which is kind of a different way of saying the same thing.
yes,
If 33% of his range is stone, no pair bluffs, it is a profitable call.
yes. And the nice thing here was your read saying that he just never has a hand that can do this, that this guy would have checked twice. Therefore, he doesn't have a hand that can do this. Now he
Checked
could be,
3 times.
well, check the flop. He has to have a full-on flush there, and he's out of position. He checked the flop, but
He's pre-flop caller, so really,
yeah,
he's until the turn, he's completely uncapped.
right. And if he has a single diamond, he may not just bet. He may not just donk it out. So it's here. He has his diamond, he checks it hoping for a bet. Nobody has one, and then he checks it again, hoping for a bet. And Mel says, I don't believe that. And he says, I don't believe you would have checked your diamond twice either. Therefore, you can't have one. And we just have to hope that the bluff he didn't turn it into, that he didn't have a 6, a 7, a 10 in his bluff, or the 4 of diamonds, some stupid little diamond.
Or pocket 8s or pocket 9s. Anything that beats us, that he decided, I'm going to bluff this.
I'm bluffing that he turns his 4 into a bluff there. But it worked, and I'm impressed. So good read, bad math, doesn't mean it's a bad play. All right,
Okay.
next hand.
No, I mean it's not bad math if you think he's bluffing 90% of the time, which
No,
he
what's
might
bad
be in
math
this
is-
line.
No, Lewis, what's bad math is saying that he has to be bluffing only 20% of the time, and you believe he is.
Yeah, I mean
That's the math we have to get right. If he's bluffing 90% of the time, we are calling, and that's clear.
Well, I think Mel thought he was way too many bluffs here, otherwise she wouldn't have called. So the math's kind of irrelevant.
Larry just put a table into the chat, and I think this is like a similar table that I was referring to, where the bet size is 33% and the value bluff construction must be 80-20. So
Right.
if he had 20% of bluffs in his entire range, then for me it becomes profitable to call.
Right. Here's why that's wrong.
Okay.
The size of his bet is the pot at the time, not the pot after.
Oh, yes.
Call.
Okay.
So this is his bet. So the pot is 71, and he bets into a pot that is 71. He bets 150.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's where it comes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the pot after the call. It's his, because it's his move. You only have to call 1/3. But that's different. All right.
Okay,
so
I get it. I
that's how
get
we
it.
use the pot. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
The best way to think is just kind of think of what's my break even point. So when I call, what is the pot going to be?
Mhm.
The pot's going to be 440 if I make the call. Or no, the pot's going to be 330 if I make the call.
Right.
So I have to call 110 to drag a total of 330. So I need to win 1/3 of the time.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Bub. Ace Jack suited.
You love it.
Right.
At least for now. Play 8.
But that math mistake was less important than your correct leveling. Nicely done.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Okay. Bub. You get raised. Ace Jack suited.
I learned I'm never ever calling
Great. What side?
from the small blind. So I would go for, I like 5x, so I would go like 50.
Great. Great. And the poker coaching theory part number on this is 4 times his bet plus the dead money. So it would be 43. So let's not go less than 43. 50 is more than 43. Yay. 45 is also more than 43. Yay.
Sounds good.
There we go. Any 4 bets, that's
Mm,
the normal size.
well, do we have any reads on our opponent?
So this was a very strong table. The guy was friends with the other guy who
Fold.
did a bluff race on the river. So they're all buddies. They're all sitting at the table. Yeah.
Just said all strong players. I don't want to play.
Like there were some other people who called me with the king, queen, and so on. And there were always recreational players joining the table, but there were like 2 or 3 and they were good and they were friends. And I was trying not to get, into any hands with them, but sometimes you can't do it.
Especially then fold, because then if they notice that you go out of the way, I think they should see that you're a little bit tight. That would be one more reason to fold here, right? Or bluff 4-bet if you want to. 5-bet?
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was there to just practice. So the bankroll that I brought there was just like me trying to get into the trenches and learn how real players play. Although I do have to say that like the field at the European Championships was a little bit tougher than like your regular
Yeah.
casino players. But yeah.
I mean, I personally don't hate continuing, but it just when you
It's
say
very
they're
typical.
tough, they notice that you don't play too many hands against them. Maybe just fold here. But it's a very playable hand, so I wouldn't mind if you just call
Yeah.
or even do something like 240 big blinds here
Yeah,
and
let's
fold to a
let's
jam.
do a quick look at in GTO world, both the things here. So it's a button raise. We with their ace jack suited happily re-raise him. Comes across here and they go, yeah. So
It's a pure call. Never
yeah,
do
yeah,
my
doesn't
four
doesn't
bet stuff.
yeah, it's almost it's too good to four bet in that way.
5-bet, sorry.
Not good enough, you know. So here's your bluff. It's a real simple range. Here's your bluff. Here's your bluff. But really, here's your bluff.
Yes,
Here's your
bluff.
value, and everything else calls, and this is your protection that balances your call.
I
So,
love the 6-5 suited
but
stone
notice
cold
one,
nuts call.
yeah. But notice here the polar part of his range that this guy might not have and might. If we don't have this component here, and we really are against this, we could fold the ace jack suited.
Mhm.
Let's see what Mel does. All right. Mel goes to, where is the Mel hand? Here's the Mel hand. All right, here we go. Mel calls. Great.
And we check flop.
All right. We check. He bets tiny,
Tiny.
tiny,
Okay.
tiny.
I mean, we have a gadget to the nuts. We want to continue here, and I don't really want to raise here because he can still have ace queen, pocket kings, pocket aces. Yeah. So I would just
Yeah.
call.
Mm-hmm. There we go. We call.
Oh, the queen is actually a nice card. Maybe we can find some donks here. Would anyone donk?
It's,
Or lead? Oh, it's the word lead in this case.
it's a donk, but I don't think I'd find it in a 4-bet pot.
Yeah.
But it is a really good card because we are defending a lot of queen X. So we're beating, in theory, obviously his aces and kings. And so it is a good card.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind it. So if we bet like 100 here, I wouldn't hate it, but I also like checking.
Okay, we check. He checks behind.
Good. Our ace high is probably not good on the river.
No.
I'm just saying this before we see the river.
Yeah. So what range are you going to put him on here now, Bub?
Ace king, some pocket pairs, like
Ace
jacks.
king, a lot of ace king, jack, and even aces or kings could still check back this. They could still bet small, because in a 4-bet pot, they just bet small. They could do that. And then now they have a reason to protect.
I
And
also
they're-
like Larry's range. He's also looks good. Ace king and sometimes ace king.
Yeah, right. So there we go. 5. So
Yeah, we don't have to bet big here if we want to bluff. And even if we want to get a fold from pocket nines or something, we don't have to bet big. So I would say 100 or maybe half pot 150 should be enough to get ace king to fold or pocket nines or pocket jacks, maybe.
okay. And I disagree with that.
Okay.
And here's why. But you could certainly be right. But this is my thought. We can get ace king to fold here for a reasonable bet, without going big. But he could easily be protecting his pocket jacks, pocket nines. That's why he checked back with the intent to call. And 100 is an amount he can call. If he checked back with the intent to call, we have to change his mind on this bet. And I don't think 100 changes his mind. I don't think 150 changes his mind. I think 100 and 150 can get ace king to fold a lot of the time.
So you want to make sure if you bluff here, you just go all in.
Yes.
Um,
Three or yeah, all in, or at least 300.
yeah.
All in or at least 300. Yeah. So there we go. 250. Right in that range. Let's see. And he folds. Great.
Yeah, so like the story there was like on the turn, I tanked for a very long time. And then he kind of got like a little suspicious and then he checked back. And then on the river, when I did the 250 bet, he was tanking for a very, very, very long time. Like it felt like eternity. And then he folded and he said that he would have called if the only thing that would have beaten him is me having a queen, which I suppose means he 4-bet me looser than tens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love your
So
turn.
that was very interesting that he started talking after the hand, which gave me more information.
Yeah. Wait, it was a showdown. Never mind. Yeah. This your stall on the turn is great, and I want to do that. I want to incorporate that. Nice. Like the bluff against an ace king, yeah, this may be big enough to get, it's certainly big enough to get nines to fold. Maybe big enough to get jacks to fold, probably not big enough to get aces or kings to fold. And definitely big enough to get ace king to fold. So there you go.
Yeah, I thought about the sizing a little bit and
Yeah.
I was just trying to
yeah,
put in as many chips as I have to, but not more than that.
right. But I don't think 100 is enough. 100 and 150. That's my opinion.
No,
Bub thinks it is, and Bub knows his player pool. All right, Lewis.
Yep.
You have got this hand. Once I find it. Here we go. I believe it is. Is it this one? Do we have or is this that same one? Let's see. This is the ace jack hand, and then we got a Josh hand. All right. You have a Josh hand that's going to jump in there in the middle while we wait for another Mel hand to be posted. All right. There we go. Queens. You
Yep.
open them.
Raise. Cool. Okay.
Rebet.
Right. God, we're really deep with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens. I mean, this deep, I'm definitely not putting in a 4-bet with queens here. Like, we're literally like 400 deep. I think you want to play super polar the deeper you are, and queens is not. I literally think we're talking like aces, maybe kings sometimes, and then some wheel aces, and some random like slivers of bluff.
Ace
In like a
king.
theory, ace king in like a
Ace king is a bluff.
fairyland.
Point. Yeah.
But like, I mean, I think it's such a disaster if I 4-bet queens here and get 5-bet.
Yeah.
It's probably you have to fold. I mean, I don't even know, but you don't want to play 600 if you get 600 big blinds in with 800 big blinds in. No, wait, how many 400 if you get 400 big blinds in with queens, you're probably behind.
Yeah.
All right.
I made the mistake yesterday. I was the 3-better with the queens, and then he 4-bets all in for a total of 700, which is not that much money when you play in my game, which is 2, 3, 5, 10. But this was just a straight up 5. So he put in 700. He put in 140 big blinds pre-flop.
That's close.
I snap called with queens,
I think
and
and
it was
could have
king.
ace king.
He could have ace king, but I should have said I'm rarely against jacks here.
Yeah, I mean,
I
had a similar.
I did instantly, and
I had a similar spot yesterday where I'm under the gun.
my.
Yeah, never mind. All
This is
right.
perfect and terrible.
Check. Okay. Check.
Yep. We check. He checks behind.
Right. So what is his range when he checks behind? Like, it's possible he has ace king, but he doesn't want to play for all the money with ace king, so he's pot controlling. I suppose kings is a possibility, a weird slow play with kings, but you know, some recreationals love to check top set. It could be like a queen 10, queen jack, king queen. Probably would bet, but could check because he's squeezed, so he could have all the sort of suited Broadway hands. So he should hit this board pretty hard. All right, so yeah, checks. Okay.
But what is the simplest hand that it feels most like when it's not tricky? What's the hand that it most feels like?
I don't know. I don't know this guy,
Blackjack.
but to me, it
Jack.
feels like ace king trying to pop control or like
Jack.
queen jack.
Notice, so he just comes in for a straight up 3-bet. That, you know, he's just doing a regular squeeze right there. He gets called. He's got aces, kings, queens, jacks, maybe tens in his range. He's got ace king in his range. Ace queen. He's got all those kinds of hands, right? Then maybe he's got the ace five suited bluff. But the straight up hand that most wants to check here is pocket jacks and pocket tens are the equivalent. I think that is the. I don't mean he doesn't have other hands, but that's like the thick part of his range that makes the total sense. It's the simplest read here.
Yeah, or a queen. He could have a queen X for
Ace
sure.
queen.
I mean, it's unlike. Yeah, he could have like queen.
Ace queen.
He could have.
And he can have
He
queen
could.
jack.
He could have.
With
Could
you.
queen jack of diamonds. He could
Yeah,
have
I'm with you, but those hands don't always 4-bet. They do a lot of
three
calls in
bet.
the real world.
Yeah, yeah. I
A
don't know. I
jack
don't know the
doesn't.
player,
Yeah,
so it
exactly.
could.
So that's
It
what I'm saying.
depends.
So
Is he the
with that
aggro
in
type or
mind,
the passive type?
yeah. So with that in mind, we might have to think a little bit about our sizing, even though our hand is great, except against the absolute top polar part of his
All
range.
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna be.
check.
We'll see.
Turn as a king.
All right. I mean, I'm definitely betting here for sure. I'm not gonna try play tricky.
No,
Um, in terms of sizings, I mean, when he checks back, we should have the nut advantage here. So I think we can bet kind of big. I mean, I'd bet like $45.
right. And I think we have to bet small. Now I see what you're saying, and it's only based on his hand. It's nice that the king paired against his hand because he thinks we have fewer kings here, so that's good. They're a little sticky on it, but I certainly want
Yeah.
to over pot, and so yeah, 45 is okay. There's good, but I don't think we can go blast. We're not getting called. All right, so Josh goes with me and goes for the small, and when you say big and you're going 75%, it's still not absolute big, so big, so I'm okay with it. But I'm keeping that in mind. We get the call. I think this screams of his hand is, he is not slow playing here. He does not have a king. All right. 3 of hearts on the river.
I mean, I want to get money. I mean, I want to get the maximum against a king rather than try get jacks to call because I don't think jacks is cool in like any bet unless I do something weird like 10% pot. So yeah, I think I might go like anywhere between 75% pot and pot, but I think because we're blocking the flush, I want to lean towards a sort of because you could have queen he can't it's kind of hard for him to have a flush. But I mean he could have ace queen or
Yep.
hearts, but we
Oh,
block that so he
yeah, we
can't.
could, right. He could
So
have had, yes.
so yeah. So I'm gonna bet like $75. I want some money. I don't want to be too, I want to, I'm gonna get called less often, but when I do get called, I'll win more. That's
Okay.
how I'm approaching.
So on your thought process, you're aiming it straight at a king here. A
Yeah.
king will call more than 75 though.
Yeah, that's why I said you can go up to pot, but
Yes. So
it's kind of hybridy.
for you, I think you should be betting much closer to pot than 75 because you're aiming at a king and you're saying a queen might drag along, but you're not trying to get called by pocket jacks. So I think you need to bet at least
110.
and yeah, I like 100, I like 110, 120, anything like that for you. For me, I need to bet tiny because I'm
Like
putting
tiny.
$10.
$10, $20 because I want to get raised by the flush, which he never has, but there, and I want to definitely get called by the jacks and tens, that now that the flush is coming, that's another thing for them to fold to. So I need to bet really small here. Like as big as 30 or 40 if I just want to get the call, and as small as 25 or 30 if I want to make it look weak enough that he feels comfortable raising his flush. So that's me.
Scotty,
I
how old are
really
you?
like
How old are you? How old are
30
you?
here.
I'm 100 years old.
Yeah, well, I'm 26, so I feel like I'll get paid more with the bigger size.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. And I want to get paid
Mm.
with it. And what I'm saying here with this is it's because of how we range them. With how you ranged him, you should bet this big. With how I ranged him, I should bet small. It's not, it's only that. And the important thing, this is the important thing. Nobody should bet in between. That's my opinion. And that's the biggest thing about this. Okay, now let's go, and we're gonna look at this in the solver.
Yeah,
Josh,
like the BSTI on the river.
yeah, which again we saw never works. But
So what did we get?
Josh,
What
Josh
did-
took your range and bet 100 into 110. So Josh
Okay.
did that, gets the call. We never know what his hand is,
Okay.
and great.
I would have
Okay.
made more money than you, Scotty.
Unless he didn't raise his flush on the river because of that,
true.
I would have.
True.
But
Yeah.
That's probably not the case. It's probably a queen or pocket jacks it's probably a queen that got stubborn because I don't have a king.
I mean, the most likely flush he has is the ace high flush, and
Yes.
so he'd probably bet the flop most likely if he had
That's
like
the
ace
flop a lot,
five,
but he
like
bets the flop a lot.
because what hearts is he most likely to check? It's queen, the ones with a queen of hearts in,
Yep.
which we have.
Let's look at this guy. All right, we are in because okay, let's get positions here. You go away. All right, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's look at the 8 max chart. We are in forever away. Here we go. So this is us.
We need to be
raised
200, man. It's important here.
right. We go 3. We're gonna have to not put in the call.
Yeah, we need to be
We
deep.
can't solve it. Oh wait, we're even deeper. Let's see.
Yeah, we need to do
we
as
don't have
deep as.
solve. We don't have a solve for this, so we're gonna have to go to the wizard.
I got some 200 charts, but
No, not
you
the
know.
chart. We're gonna go to the solve to the end. So we're gonna burn a wizard on this. All right. So here we go, wizard. We are here. We raise. I do not believe the wizard will allow us.
But this is still 100 big blinds.
Yeah, I mean, at 100, the queens is just going to put in the full bet mostly, but I mean, it's very different in my opinion.
Here we go. So, the call comes from the hijack, and we are change it to. We are 300 big blinds deep to start.
200, right? Or
200?
that's-
Let's see. The game
No,
is
we're deeper, but we're
the
deeper,
game-
but
right. So according to this, it's 800. The game is a 1-2. So we are 400 big blinds deep. So we're gonna do 300 and see if it gives us a solve. Let's see. Change to 300 deep. We raise when the hijack calls, and then the button goes to 20. Hijack calls, button goes to 20, comes back on us, and we, with our queens, we call.
The small blind 3-bet though.
Here it's you
Oh,
can
he's a small blind?
small blind 3.
no, it's the button.
But
No,
it was
the button.
button.
Button, we're out of position. Good. Oh, I hit small blind. Thank you. So he only goes to 12 there. Okay, that sizing is off, but I don't care. All right, back on us. Queen's call. He folds. And is there no solution? Oh no, it's letting us solve it. Let's do it. All
Wait,
right.
let's see under the gun, because I want to see how close that was. I said kings, aces, and some bluffs. That's kind of what I said. That's how I
Yeah.
ranged.
Let's go back here. Yeah, so this is our range here.
Yeah,
we
what do we four bet? Yeah,
Yep.
it's the aces. Yeah, and ace king. Yeah,
Yeah, ace king is your bluff, and your ace
and ace five. I mean, these random low.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you're crazy if you're doing these 8-7, 7-6 in a live game.
Nice. Ace king offsuit fold.
Yeah,
I don't
ace- yeah,
find
but the
that.
important thing is ace king offsuit doesn't call
Hmm.
in this configuration. That's something. All right. So let's go back to us doing it. We do the call. He does the fold. The flop is the beautiful. I'm going to go back to this. Flop is the beautiful king, king 6 of hearts, queen of clubs. King 6 of hearts, queen of clubs, confirm, set for today. Here we go. And we have donks on this. I would be checking range. We're checking a lot, but we have donks. We checked, and our hand checks enough of the time that we have not broken the solve. That's great. He bets tiny is the solver land thing, which is what he did. I believe that. Turn is the king of not
Scotty,
hearts.
he checked. He checked. He didn't bet.
Check flop. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, let's go
Do you
back.
just realize now?
No, I knew he checked. I just forgot. I thought he bet tiny. I thought he bet tiny, and that it was the check on the turn. But here we go. You're right. We check, and he has checks, and he checks behind. There we go. Now we pick up the king of not. Oh, we pick up the flush draw king, the king of clubs. There we go. That was a flush draw king. I didn't even notice that because I was so happy with our full house. All right, flush draw king, and our sizing was 25. And let's see, with queen, queen, we can bet and not bet. The size that the solver wants to bet is 2/3,
Oh.
which is more like what Lewis did than what I did. There we go. And it is also what we did in game. Pots, no, we bet smaller. So you did more like me. Solver bets a little bit bigger. All right. He calls. The river brings in the heart of 6, I believe. No, like the deuce of hearts or some nonsense heart like that. 3 of hearts. Brings in the 3 of hearts. And on the 3 of hearts, we are betting queens. We're always betting, and it likes 75. So the solver disagrees with everything I said.
The solver agreed with basically everything I did.
Okay,
With
I
everything
would
said.
be I would be interested if we could change sizes here, but we cannot, right? It's just one sizing.
We're
It's a
too
one
poor.
Yeah, you got to pay money for that. And
Yeah.
I keep planning on paying the money for that, and I just haven't done it. All right, there we go. Mike is up next.
Can we see what range calls when we bet 75?
Sure. 75.
Just like very quick.
Right, what is he supposed to call with? He is supposed to call with he's folding some kings.
Yeah, just full houses. He's basically calling with full houses. Yeah.
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 And his 10-10 is,
Yeah.
His flushes, and yeah, that's it.
yeah, his flushes.
He's folding the flushes.
Which flush is he folding?
Ace 4, ace 3? No?
No, that's
Oh no, he's calling. Okay.
Those are the other ace 4s that somehow got here. Yeah. Flushes
Oh no,
don't.
he's calling. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
calling
flushes
flush.
don't raise. Even flushes that block don't raise. Ace king does a raise, mostly call, so it's raises. Not worth doing it. So there you go. There's your quads. There's your full house. Not even raising the queen full house against our bet. Not even raising the queen full house. I'm saying this again because it's shocking.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah. Not even raising that. And the specific jack. Yeah. Yep, so that's it. The only raises are the only real raises are the full house, the bluff.
I mean, yeah, I mean, look how massive the raise is. Like it's all in. Like you know, it's gonna have to be great. Like it's you know, you're just gonna fold almost everything, which isn't a full like.
Yeah. The bluff, the 2 bluffs. These are bluffs, and they are bluffs with, it's bluffs with top, with top trips is a bluff.
It's blocking the full house. Yeah, king queen.
You have to block a full house to do it because the other bluffs that are here, the little bit of it block the queen. So you got to block the full house. and the reason I say this ace king is a bluff and not for value is because we're only doing it this much of the
Yeah,
time.
don't ever do these though in reality.
All right, Mike. Let's get Mike's hand here. Comes from right there. Here's the next Mike hand. Mike hand. Boom. There we go.
Oh yeah,
Nailed it.
sorry, before we start, I just have one more question about
Yes.
the hand where I bluffed on the river.
Mhm.
Because on the flop, right, the villain bet like not even or like very close to like 10%.
Yeah.
And I thought, is this something common to do in 4-bet pots, or was this, because for me this was already a like 13 to nearly 300. I was thinking something's going on here. This is like, if he would have had even king check or whatever, he would have bet bigger. And so for me, that was the also like one of my signals that led me to bet the river.
Yeah. There are many people who will bet their range small here. So while this could be a signal for this guy, because this guy was going to bet bigger with aces and kings on this, on a 2 Broadway board,
Yeah.
then this guy was going to do it. Betting anywhere from 10 to 25% pot in a 4-bet pot with range is standard. Is
Okay.
GTO. Is GTO, not as standard. It is a GTO play. So at this point, I don't read a lot into this. At this point, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
And the thing I read into this is that a very good player here could easily be doing this with aces, kings, jacks with the intent to check call, that was their intent. So when the river comes, that's why I thought the 100 wasn't enough. We've got to convince him. But when he has
I
ace king,
mean,
it doesn't take much
I
convincing.
mean,
You might have convinced him.
we've looked at this before as well. Like queen high board is really good for the 4-bet cooler, small blind versus button, because basically your whole range has a queen in, basically. Because you're calling mostly ace queen suited, sometimes queen jack suited,
Yeah.
king queen suited. Like if you look at a range, it's gonna be mostly queens. So you can actually donk. So you're gonna have mostly nuts in theory on the river if you play at a check line. Like you're just gonna have loads. Like you ace jack suited, like probably like the only one of the only hands which doesn't have trips.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
let's just for fun, we'll look at that range real quick before we go to your next hand. Okay, so this is a simple raise 3-bet, 4-bet. Okay. Button versus blind. And let's go to Mr. Peak. Button raises. We 3-bet him with queens like you should. He 4-bets us like he did. At 100 big blinds, in this configuration, we just jam. Queens. We have ace jack suited and we call it. So when we call, we got a lot more queens in range than he does. So we call. Here we go. We have ace jack suited on a board of queen of spades, 10 of diamonds, 3 of clubs. There we go. We get to donk into the 4-better. I wouldn't. His main size is 25% pot. So still small. So you see that one there, not with range in this case. But
Okay.
but it's not uncommon for him to bet small. Let's give him the size that he bets the most often, because otherwise we break the solve. So that's going to be the 24. With our ace jack suited and our gut shot, we call to the small bet. Perfect. On the turn, we pick up the queen of, not that it matters, and that is hearts. So we pick up the Badoogie queen. There we go. We check. And he does the rare check behind, because in Solverland, he does not protect his aces and kings. And he continues his jacks as a kind of a bluff, but it's harder for us to have a queen, so a 10 still calls. But he does the check. When he checks here, are we going to bluff the river on a blank, 5 of diamonds, with a hand that doesn't have much showdown value. You bet we are. And
You
the
see what I
size,
told you? I said you can bet like the whole range because you have
Yep.
so much queen X.
yep,
Mm.
we bet our whole range, and we bet it all small.
That's interesting.
Is in GTO world. I stand by my real world analysis. I could be wrong. There we go.
Okay.
That's GTO. All right.
I
Now
mean,
back.
I think in real world they're gonna be scared you have a queen as well, but like they're probably not gonna fold their aces anyway.
Well, yeah, because when we bet this size that we bet here,
Oh, there's no way they're folding. It's over fold. Yeah, just folding everything.
he gets to play like this. He has very few hands in this line, but he's folding everything that gets here. And he bluffs an ace-4 suited at you. And he calls with a 5. He calls a sliver of 5 that gets here. He just folds range on this line because this is what he has. He has nothing of value on this line that he checked back. On this rear line. He doesn't have these hands that I think our guy has a lot of. Because I think our guy plays this node here differently. I don't think he bets all his jacks here. His only pocket pair. All right, back to this hand, which is Mike. Queen 10 suited. Do we have a mic? Is Mike live?
Okay. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. This is a good 3-bet candidate here versus the cutoff. It depends if we have really whaley people in the blinds. I would call more often. I'm not going to call this hand here. I am going to 3-bet it.
All right. And this is the time you called it because we have really whaley people in the big blinds.
Yeah.
And they both fold this particular time. So here you are being forced to play in position in a medium-sized pot with a suited gapper. Not the worst thing in the world.
Okay. This would be one of those. Let me check.
Mhm.
I am not sure if we should stab, if we should check behind. I kind of feel like I think betting based on the population are checking, they're going to bet their aces more often than they should, like in theory. So when they check, they don't have as much value here. And I think we can start betting more. So I like a bet here more than checking.
Okay. And in this case, Mel did the check
Yep.
lock.
I'm guessing in theory that everything so far is okay
Yep.
in terms of theory wise.
Yep.
Then what happens? They bet 8 until what, like 25 or whatever, 24.
Yes.
I would just call here.
Okay. We call. And do we think this sizing screams of an ace?
No, absolutely not.
We think it screams of a pocket pair that we may have to turn into a bluff on the river
Yep.
when if our spades don't come through, right?
Yeah, pocket pair or they're bluffing.
Right. And do we, given that we're going to sometimes get there and we're going to need to bluff the river, do we ever want to do this as a 2-street bluff to make our river bluff really convincing? And then when we get there, even better?
Yeah, I think that's a viable route to take.
Yep. Yeah, I think so too. Right. We do the call, we do the simpler call line for right there. We get the 3.
Mm,
And now
I
the
don't like
story,
that 3 paired.
and I don't like the story. And now his story of a weak ace that wasn't happy until it was full with that size.
Yeah, and he goes almost pot.
Yeah. I may have changed my mind.
Yeah, if he goes half pot, this size up here is worrisome. Also, the three pairing I don't think is good for us. In other words, they are going to get a lot stickier, I believe. Maybe we can just fold here and not turn our hand into a bluff like we were going to because of all these factors.
Right. The main
Um,
factor for me is the size. So the three pairing thing, what is it about the three pair? Because let's say that let's say that he has a hand that we really want to get to fold here, which is because, everything but a king is folding, is folding to a min click here. So, I mean, every non-paired hand. So we're really aiming at his pairs. And if he has a pair here, why does he feel better when the three comes?
I just
don't
feel
have-
like it's sort of almost like a heuristic that
Okay.
when the board runs out like this, that they're going to be your fold equity is less.
Okay.
I feel maybe that's not true. I just feel in my experience it's kind of been the case. I feel like these paired boards tend to get called more often, but I mean,
But these become one card full house boards. That's
Oh,
the thing
but
of the double paired board.
but Mike, you're saying basically you don't think he has an ace, but he won't fold against the raise if he has pocket eights.
right,
Is that
eights, exactly. Yeah, eights and sevens and nines and tens, and I feel like they'll get stickier. Now, if this was, let's say, a deuce, the river of a deuce, why does that change the fold equity? I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Yep, we'll do. And Lewis, when we do, if we don't do you today, we'll move to you tomorrow. Or we'll do you after we hit a round of Mel's. Probably we'll do that. Probably we'll get through one full round of Mel's and then we'll go to Lewis. All right. So with this in mind, Mel says a queen is high enough on this board to call and beat his bluffs. I think it's a king at minimum for this. But let's
I
see if it
agree.
works. What happened?
You can click, I think, does it not show?
No, it's not showing. You didn't put
I
it in.
don't, okay, the player had, wait for it, the player had ace six.
Okay, that,
Okay.
that makes sense. I mean, like it's like just really a really good like a nuts type hand or a
Yeah,
bluff.
I think my problem in my thinking is, I think the following, that as Mike also said, right, like, so on the flop, and then the way that the turn was played, we rule, I mean, more or less rule out an ace, right? And once I have this story in my mind, I continue this pathway instead of thinking of all the other possible pathways that are also out there, right? Like I get so fixated on like this one story and I'm like, but he would have bet the flop if he would have had an ace. If he would have had an ace, then he would have bet the turn bigger, blah, blah, blah. And then I find myself on the river and I do not believe him. And I'm like a massive calling station here.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't
Yeah,
see
I
all
don't
the
know about
pairs
the
he can
queen
have, right?
making queen your bluff candidate, your bluff calling candidate. Like I could get behind maybe a king, but not a queen. Just because you're not beating their bluffs. You're losing to some of their bluffs.
Right. And then when they
Um,
bluff with pocket fours and pocket sevens, when they turn that
I
into
still lose. Yeah.
you still lose.
Now, the fact that he had a6, I don't think really changes much in terms of, we kind of discounted them having aces. Doesn't mean they're never going to have an ace there, but the tendency, the population, we've kind of adjusted their range to not include the aces. So our decisions, I think, are still okay, even though we were on the wrong end of the result.
Yeah, let's say he has king five suited. Now that is a bluff we don't beat, and that is pretty bad.
Right.
Yeah, so I would also have to think about all the bluffs that I do not beat.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So three
Like-
things.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay. So with keeping the idea of leaving fuzzy lines or leaving fuzzy bars around our ranging and our predictions is good. It's like, I think he wouldn't do this, but I know there's a percentage of the time he does. It makes it more complicated, but we need to. one of the sort of old school poker rules for people who are 100 years old like me is believe the bigger money. So we're starting to go down a path, and this makes us believe something. And you remember, Mike and I were we were ready to bluff this. We were going to bluff this until we saw the 35. So now I don't think I want to. So that's one way you get here is you go, wait a minute, let me rethink through it because this doesn't fit this size. Okay. The other thing is now let's look at this specific player's thought process because obviously we got it wrong. So this guy went like this. I have just flopped the world and it is hard for you to have anything. So I need you to catch up. Okay. So I'm going to bet. So I'm going to check the flop from out of position, either because I check range or because when you have an ace, you're going to bet it. When you don't, you're going to fold. So you just have nothing here. So I check. All right. You checked behind. You have nothing. Well, maybe you picked up a flush draw. I got to put some money in, but it's got to be small because you got nothing. You've got, some little pocket pair thing that's going to struggle to call an ace. You have no aces in your range. So I can't bet big. I bet. You called. Oh, maybe with this now I can now bet big because even your worst aces are all full houses also. But I'm not going to aim. I'm not betting big enough to only aim at an ace. And that's what he does. That's maybe I've narrated his thought process. I don't mean it's right. I mean, that fits it. So you now have that voice in your head also.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is you got so rewarded by your non-standard call with the fives, based on the leveling war that you called here.
I guess so.
Because the rest of us were all folding to his raise on the 5. We said the 5s are bluff. You got raised. Bluffs are not bluff catchers. And you said, sure, it's both. And you were right and we were wrong. But that may be sort of washing into here.
Yeah, totally. Like I think
Yep.
when I returned home to Vienna from Carinthia with like all these river bluff races that happened to me,
Yeah.
I did not believe anything anymore. And I was
Did anybody ever-
actually hurt my thinking a lot.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. This is the same queen 10. Okay. Now, if we played it with the line that I had suggested, we would have gotten our ass handed to us unless the following good thing happened. If when we raised the flush here, he re-raised us because he had the full house and he now believed that we had an ace and he's now trying to get full value, we can fold. So the only good thing that happens on my turn raise to make the two street bluff more convenient, more convincing is that. But if he slow plays his aces, he's going to kill me. And I'm going to lose a ton because I was going to raise the turn and then bet the river big.
Yeah, if you go the way I was going to go, I was going to bet the flop. I was going to stab.
Yeah.
I was going to stab here more often than check behind. And I would have, if he raises, then we fold, which is good.
But then we pick up equity.
If he just flats, then we get this turn card, and if he checks again, going big.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and like that's the thing, because from the button you do call a lot of the suited aces, and so it's not so unlikely that we do have one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, you got 4-5 suited, and this is the time that you choose to play it, and that's fine. You're raising 4-5 suited from the low jack. That is a thing that you can do. 6-5 suited even more often, but you did it this time because it's spades. I love spades. Here we go. You get called. Good. You get called and you're out of position. Good luck.
This I think this is 4-5 is better from the cutoff, but whatever.
Yeah, it's always better to be in the cutoff, but you're not.
Okay. Let me think. So we got no backdoor flush. I think we have to bet. So we have to bet. This can be one of our like low equity junk bluffs, right? So I would bet big. I would bet like 66% pot, and then I would just give up if they call,
Exactly. And this is a big bet board.
Pretty much, I think.
Okay. So we go 7 into 24. We choose the smaller size, hoping for the immediate fold when they have.
I mean, we're the only one that can have ace king, so
Yeah. There we go.
We should be able to bluff this pretty hard, but
Yeah. Is this a big bet board? We're gonna find out, Mike. I could be wrong. Here we go. We pick up nothing.
I think it
I mean,
is.
you can at least bet pot. Still got nothing. So do you want to? I mean, do you want to give up, or we're our position with like 0 equity? So I think maybe this is a give up, but I think I
like
would
it.
have bet bigger on the flop. But
Yep.
maybe in Solver World, this is like this is a 3-barrel jam, you know, in the river. But I don't know. I probably it would depend on the player. I would look at them a lot, and if they just look weak, you know, you could go for it. But if they don't, if they look, you know, quite happy, I would just give up. But I know you can't do that online and stuff.
I'm happy to give
Yeah,
up.
this is just because we opened a bit too wide. Yeah, I think we got no equity, right? We're out of position with no equity, so we have to. If we had a backdoor flush draw, yeah, I'd keep going.
Yeah, I like it. I like giving up here, and I like the slightly bigger bet on the
We
flop
don't even have a gut shot.
to make it easier to give up. Yep, we are giving up. So here we
Yeah.
go. Give up. He checks behind. Well, that's nice. And the river card is irrelevant. The only thing is, do you want to turn your hand into a bluff here? And there are hands that you can get to fold. So I'm going to ask, what do you want to do, Josh? I've set my opinion. I know what I want to do here.
Yep. Okay. They check back. I mean,
Yep.
I guess you got to pot it, but you know, it's pretty rough.
And I want to bluff.
Yeah, is that right? Is that a thing? If you gave up on the turn, I think it's pretty rough to give up on the turn and then start bluffing again on the river, right?
It is. That's why I'm going to do it small, because here are the hands I'm targeting. I am targeting an unpaired king. I'm targeting an unpaired 9. I don't have to bet very big to get them fold, and when they fold, because my hand is 5 high. So anything that folds is huge. And so I can bet small here and just go for that. It won't work very often, but it doesn't have to because it's going to be small. Just getting a king to fold. Now, does he have any unpaired king here? Does he have any unpaired 9? Now that's the reason not to do it. What king can he get here with? None. All right, my idea is terrible. I don't want to do it.
Sure.
I don't want to do it anymore. I've changed my mind.
In theory, Scotty, but you know they have lot of junk here too. They can have lots of junk that will fold.
Yeah, but it's really hard. But so much of the kind of card I want him to have isn't. I mean, yes, I can get a 7-9 to fold, but he's got to be there.
Could have ace high, which called it a gutter.
I can get an ace, which is a gut shot. I can get ace 5 to fold, things like that. All right. So let's see what Mel does. Mel goes for it, and she goes for the basic pot size bet. And it works. All right. So let's take a look here at sizing worlds. All right, we are in the low jack and get called by the button. We are in peak. We are in cash. We are in with a rake. Here we go. So reset. Low jack, we raise. And our low jack range has a little bit of 5-4 in it, but mostly 6-5. And this is just something to know, is that the best of these usually in every world is the 6-5, not the 5, not these other ones. So it's the first one there, and 5-4 comes in. This is the time we chose it. Yay us. We get called by the button, the worst place to get called by. And the flop comes down.
Look at their call range real quick.
All right, here we go.
Okay,
They call us.
back to it.
They call us.
So they have no ace king is the key here. They have a little sliver of ace king.
Yeah. And they have some 8, 9, 10 jack queen. But when they have a king, it always pairs.
In
When
theory.
they have 9, it's always this in solver land. So the bluff on the river will make almost no sense.
But I think if we do go like bet big, bet pot, jam river, I mean, there's just nothing they can do, right? You know, unless the board pairs or something. I mean, they just have to fold, right?
Yeah,
Pretty
except
much.
except they're
They
two
have to fold
pair
everything that's not a set or, you know, a
or two
straight.
pair. They're going to call you a two pair.
What can they do?
But you could easily get them to fold one pair and a gut shot by the river.
Yeah, and Scotty, I don't think you're far off. Like in theory, you're not probably not. You're probably far off. But you know what they call with? They call with all kinds of crap.
Yeah.
It's
The
not
idea,
just those kings that you're seeing. You're seeing all the suited kings, and you're seeing suited queens and jacks and suited connectors, two gapper, three gappers, aces, everything.
right? And so the theory part that's right, and I think still in this hand it's a bad idea, is the one where when you have zero equity with your bottom hands, you have the opportunity to bluff small. But bluffing small exists. That's all. Bluffing small exists on those things. I wouldn't do it on this board. All right. The board is
Queen, Jack, 10, rainbow.
Right. And we don't even get a spade. Diamond club. So queen of diamonds, jack of hearts, 10 of clubs. There we go. And
Let's saying
we have
5
got a
4.
range.
I think it's like if we're doing this when we get a queen jack 10 board.
Queen jack 10, we are range betting.
Yeah.
When we get a
This
queen
is-
jack 10 board, I mean, we can't bluff everything like a maniac, you know. So, you know, what are we selecting to bluff with? I guess this is one of our best hands to bluff because it's literally
No, we're
5
bluffing
high.
every- No, I don't know if you're seeing it, Josh. We are bluffing. We are betting range. We're bluffing everything. And we're value betting.
Is anyone surprised that 5-4 is not in the big sizing? Because I am actually. I thought that would be in the big sizing because it's just bottom of bottom.
Yeah. So it's got a 70% and a 27%, and it really prefers a 20. It simplifies to this. So I was wrong about it being a big bet board.
No,
and-
it's fine, but we choose different hands, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But it doesn't have very many of the big bets in it. That's all.
Yeah, we'll
That's-
get the equity comparison. It's probably because, you know, most of their cooling range is, you know, the most common stuff's two pair. But like, yeah, we're ahead in the entire range.
Yeah, we're destroying them an equity advantage.
Right. So we bet and we bet the right amount. We bet the small size. That's what Mel did, which is great. We got called. The turn 3 of spades or something equivalent.
Yeah, something like that.
Here come the big bets.
It is the 3 of spades. And we now go at least 11%. We go at least half pot when we go. And we have pots and we have half pots and over pots mostly. So we're in the bigger size. You're absolutely right. We size up. Our particular hand gives up, as we did.
Yeah,
When
I mean, we have to check a lot because we bet everything and
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
filtered. So it's kind of like a single raise pot kind of in position. Similar
is a six.
concepts where you
River is the 6 of spades, giving us an open-ended straight flush draw with no cards to come. And the 5-4 bluffs. Always.
That's it. I like it.
Right. And the size of the 5-4, this is what we want to see. Strategy. Boom, 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 boom. Hit the right button. Hand. 5-4. It likes, let's see, the pot is now 9. It likes an overbet for really trying hard, and it doesn't mind a 2/3.
Yep.
Targeting a different thing. And it has a non-zero but insignificant amount of the 3 big blinds to just get nothing to fold when he has nothing, and because his nothing beats our nothing. Okay.
Yeah, Mel picked the middle of the size, but yeah, I think you can simplify to a small bet and a pot size bet. That seems pretty good rather than this like free bet situation.
Exactly.
Does anyone have a good idea why this hand now on the river is in the big sizing and it wasn't on the flop? Because that would be very interesting for me because I don't really understand
I
the
think all
concept
of your
behind
big-
that.
your big bets that are coming on the flop all block their nutted type hand. So like the 4-5, we're not blocking anything that they have of value. But if we have king X or ace X, we're blocking their straights
Okay, that's cool,
and
but how could
their
I polarize this to other boards? You know, that is more my question here. How could I understand how to use this on another board? Let's say Jack 10-9. Would we do the same with 5-4? Do you know what I mean?
He's asking you, Mike. I
if you
don't know
change the
the
board to Jack 10-9.
Yeah. Would we do the same with 5-4
Well, I
suited?
think we're in a different situation because then their
Yes.
calling range on the button will contain a lot more. Our equity advantage won't be nearly as good.
Okay, and now my question is basically how could I is there any idea
It's a huge
how I
difference.
would
Look at
know
it.
yeah
Check
how I
range.
would know how to play 5-4 and spot like okay, the one board was a range bet board.
Oh
I
my
understand this.
God. You
Yeah.
you could not get more different, Bub. So it is not the 3 in a row, and it's not, it isn't there.
Yeah, it's
We are
specifically the
betting,
king
Okay,
jack
that's
queen.
random. That's random, but
we are betting
there
range.
is it could be king queen
We are,
king queen jack, right?
yeah, we are Jack 10-9. We are checking range.
Okay. Yeah, my idea is more like do you know when you want to use a hand as a polarized bet on the flop or not? Like the 5-4. I can see 5-4 didn't have any future. So we bet small and then we use it as a polarized bet on the river because we have not so many bluffs, right? Maybe that's the reason. On the one board we played, that was a what Queen Jack 10 board. But is there some heuristic I could
He's asking
put
you, Mike.
into my
I
brain?
don't know.
Okay.
I'm not
Anybody
sure.
else anybody got a good answer?
I mean,
I
we're out
think
of
I think that's a
position.
bit too simple. I think the game's like more complex than that. Like,
Yeah, but
I
you
think
can put hands into buckets, right?
Okay,
That
so
is
here's the
Also, Bub, we're out of position here, so I think the big bets are pretty rare. I mean,
Mhm.
in our situation, we had the best board possible because we have all the ace kings and they have virtually none.
True.
So I think that board is kind of really unique. So when you get down to like a Jack 10-9, we no longer have any kind
that
of
that
nut
board is unique.
advantage or range
Look at
Yeah,
advantage,
okay.
and
look at
we're out
this.
of position. And I think big bets are pretty rare to see bet large when we're out of
yeah,
position,
I think
right?
I think I think another range bet board here is low jack would be if you do like king three deuce. I'm pretty sure we get to range bet, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, look at the different look at how uh ace look at how ace king jack goes compared to ace jack 10. Ace king jack instead of ace king. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, we had king, what was it? Without the ace. I changed it from queen jack 10 to king jack 10. All checks. Queen jack 10, all bets. King jack 10, all checks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so the first answer is I don't know, and the second answer is when thinking about the big bet, small bet, is start with this heuristic, this simple one that will not apply to all boards, but if you're looking for some heuristic, on boards where we bet a lot, we bet small. On
Yeah,
boards,
I bet small to a
bet
flop,
big.
then I go
Yep.
polarized on the turn. That
Mhm.
that is the
Yep.
most common line, right?
Yep. So that won't apply to all boards, but it's your first heuristic. I don't have your second one. right.
Not yet. Not yet. We
All
work
right.
on it.
Last Mel hand will be me, and then we will go to some Lewis hands. So here we go. Bye, Andy. And it's me as if I haven't been the one who's played every hand, right? Pocket eights in the cutoff. Against this early position, GTO, I'm folding here. If I know players behind are passive and I am as good a player as Jonathan Little, I am calling here. We might have a sliver of 3-bet and I'm not taking it. So that's my GTO thing. And I am mostly folding this actually in game usually. I don't, it's a little too tight, but I do it mostly because I like the three better fold. All right, here we go. We do the call. That is not wrong, especially when that happens and we do not get three bet. So that's great. All right. And we're going to look at that range for fun at the end. King, king, six. Check, check to me. This guy could be naturally checking range. This guy could be betting a lot of his kings. My eights are technically they are technically marginal made. So the simplest thing to do with them is check and get my equity there. I do not hate a bet of 11 or 13. I do not like a bet of 20. All right, let's see what we do. We check. Nothing wrong with a check there. Absolutely nothing wrong with a check. The six comes. He bets 10. We can call 10. The queen comes. Let's see how big he bets. He checks. Great. We have the best hand most of the time here. If we bet, we're turning our hand into a bluff, trying to get the nines, tens, and jacks to fold. And I don't think we need to do that. We beat ace high. I think we just check back and just take our equity. And we bet it. And I believe we're betting it as a bluff, but if we get called by an ace, you're a genius, Mel. We get called by a queen. Yep. So he bluffed and then he turned his bluff into showdown value. So
And see the kind of junk they show up with.
yeah. Yeah. So my bet, so my small bet with a 5-4 isn't the worst thing in the world. Yep.
Yeah, and at the end of the hand, when he showed his queen three offsuit from the big blind, from the small blind, he then said to me, "You could have just checked back too." And I was like, and then I said to him, "Yes, I could have," and I did.
Good
not.
answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So we're going to go to, so Lewis prepped some hands here. We're going to go to Lewis. And let me put Mel in the list. Mel will be the first one up. Andy, did you already leave? If Andy, yeah, Andy left already, so we won't get another hand from Andy. All right. And now let's take a look. So we can't see this and solve, but what we can see is just the pre-flop of the eights. That's all we're looking for here. Is in the world where we have field call. So here we go. Let's start with the wizard. He is in the, here we go, pre-flop. He is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is 9-handed under the gun. We don't even have this in the wizard. So we're going to have to go with 8-handed under the gun. There's his raise. We are in the cutoff. And in this world, eights, 7, 6s never fold cutoff. Never. All right. In the world where in this world, we're also not going to have it because this world has no rake. So here we go. Same thing. One earlier than this, cutoff, never folds the eights. I'm wrong. Okay. Now I want to look at this in, hold on. Was that I'm going to simplify it. I'm going to simplify and stop sharing.
Is that rake or no rake?
Those are both no rake. I didn't have the rake for it. So I'm going to decline this. Now you should do it. Hello, Michael. We'll add Michael into the list. Okay. We're going to do your hand in a second. Let's just look. Let's just do your hand. I'll look that up later. So here we go. I'm going to find a rake. 8-8 cutoff versus bullet with rake. Okay. King, queen suited. Mel, you got king, queen suited.
Oh, this is online. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like what's happening here. We have the biggest stack. I don't know. I think there's two options. One option would be to just call behind, but I think it massively decreases the value of our hand. the other option that I would probably go for is to raise it up to 15. Wait. Yeah, 15 or something.
Love
Yeah,
it. Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
free betting this every time because the most common outcome is just going to be everyone folds.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance someone would fold a pair or like ace high.
Mm.
But we could also get called by worse,
Yep.
like queen jack suited.
Yep. I love your 3-bet here. And if you call behind, if you just call this, it's got to be, technically it's profitable, but I think this is more profitable. This is a better play. The other play exists. There we go. And right now we are almost always, once this first guy folds, we are almost always getting this through. And this guy is very capped. So this is great. And we're out of position, and that's very bad. All right. Woohoo!
Good. Um, this is an interesting flop. Since this is a pot where I raised beforehand, I can continue leading. But because like the button also calls with a lot of like tens and jacks, maybe with threes, but like a lot of middling pairs in between. Maybe he has an ace of diamonds. So what I would do here is I would probably bet something like, I think I would go for a small bet here, like 33%, maybe half pot, but not more.
Okay. And Lewis does the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, when it goes raise, cool, you're just gonna raise with a very linear range. Maybe like nines plus, ace queen plus, ace 10 suited plus. I think that's my range here. And then some like suited broadways. So I think I hit this board a lot. And he's like, he can have a jack or a 10 sometimes, or jacks or 10 sometimes, but he might choose to free bet that. So I'm not really scared of anything here.
Yeah. Yep. And if you did get raised here, would you just basically 3-bet jam?
Yeah, I mean, what does he have which calls me? I mean, we're probably going to be slightly ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
When called. So
you got
know, is it the highest? Because like the high. Yeah, I mean, probably because I'm out of position, right? I prefer to run it with high equity draws when out of position.
Yeah.
Just in case maybe he folds a jack, that would be a great result.
Yeah.
Say he's here with queen jack suited and he wants to raise to like see where he's at. You know, yeah, I think I would jam.
Jam it.
But like it's marginal. But I don't expect a guy who cold called to have bluffs, if you get what I mean.
Oh
like,
no, I don't expect him to have any raised bluffs. I expect him to have a pair.
Yeah,
And
so that makes me want to like
saying I don't care if you have a pair because you don't care.
That makes me want to like run it more because I'm expecting him just to have like top pair or better.
Yeah.
So like my argument for cooling would just be like keeping some. I mean, if he's just doing it with something spazzy. So
let's see the turn here. Let's see the turn here because he didn't raise you.
And I mean, what's also interesting is, I mean, we only have 86 hands, but fold to 3-bet is 75. So what he has, if he calls, is probably not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is like looks like a reggae type, but which surprises me why he's not free betting the button. But maybe it's because the short stack called, so he doesn't want to squeeze and then get back jammed on. Sometimes I do that. If there's a shorter stack at the table, I might just call.
But even after the bet end. Okay. By the way, Melanie, you got a kind of nice turn. What would you like to do after betting small on the flop?
I think we're going to have to be careful now because the question is, what would a single check or 10 call or a check 10 or any kind of straight. I don't know, like, I mean, at NL10, my experience is that if you would bet big here, you get an insta fold, like you don't get any value at all. So that is why I would go very small. Like, I think maybe like 22, 20 big blinds or something like that. Like we
Okay.
do have to put in some chips, I feel,
Yeah.
but it has to be an amount that makes sense for the opponent
Mhm.
to call.
Right. So with that thought process, you get around 20 was your answer. Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask another question here, which is what would we would love to get all in on by the river. That would be really nice. Doesn't mean he has a hand that can do it, but we would like that. So if we wanted to do a smooth 2E size, what would our smooth 2E size be? And the question is to Mel.
What is 2E? What do you mean with
Yeah,
the
that's
E?
quite
you're not
technical.
listening? I'm sorry. So 2E is what is the size of our bet where the percentage bet on the turn and on the river are the same. So it's a smooth bet. Like you bet half pot, and then you're all in. Or you bet a quarter pot, and you're all in. Or two-thirds. So figure out what that
40,
number is. The
45?
calculation is very hard, meaning the correct calculation you can't do in your head. But you can figure it out. You can hone in on it by interpolating relatively quickly. So let's figure out what that number is.
Okay. I mean, he has 90 big blinds left, and I have
Right.
2 more streets to go, so that's 45.
Right. So if you bet 45 here, then you'd be betting almost pot. You'd be betting like 80% pot, and then on the river, he has 45 left, and you'd be betting 20% pot. So I want it
but I
where it's
don't
about
get to the river with that sizing.
right. So what I'm saying is I want you to give me the number that is about the same percentage on the turn in the river. And the theory is that when you go smooth like that, that is the easiest thing for him to call. He is faced with the same size question both times. Now that doesn't mean it's going to work. I'm just saying let's start by figuring out what that number is. And if you're not sure how to figure it out, if I've given you enough information to figure it out, go and do it now. And if I haven't, I'll walk you through the process. Okay, I'll walk you through the process.
Yeah, walk me,
Okay.
because like I don't understand the question, because either we do twice 45 or I do 30 and 70 or something.
Right. No. So it's the percentage of the pot. So let's just imagine in our heads, we're going to bet half the pot now. So about 25. So we put in 25, it's about half the pot. He puts in 25. The pot goes to about 100, right?
Got
and he
it.
has about 65 left, right?
Yeah.
100. And so 65 is a little more than half the pot. So to be smooth, we need to put in a little bit more than half the pot on the flop and a little bit more than half the pot on the river. I mean, on the turn and on the river. And then that will be a smooth bet. So a little bit more than half the pot here instead of 25 is about 30. So if we bet 30 and he calls, we're betting 30 into 50. So that's 60% pot, right? 30 into 50. He calls that. He'll have 60 left. The pot will be about 110. And he's got his 60 left. 60 into 110 is a little bit more than half the pot. So that's about right. So right around 30. So as a default, you start with, if I want to make this smooth, it's 30. So when you deviate from that, you want to give yourself a reason to deviate. So my question is the ace of diamonds exists, which is great. It's still out there. There's no king and there's no queen, but there's an ace of diamonds out there in the world.
Yeah.
His ace of diamonds will call on the flop and will not call on the river if he doesn't hit anything more. Right? So against the ace of diamonds part of his range, we want to sort of front load it. We want to bet bigger than 30. Now, against the pair part of his range, we think with the straight coming in and the flush coming in, the pair part of his range is calling less, right?
Yeah.
It's not calling as big. Which do you think is bulkier?
What do you mean by bulkier?
Does he have more ace
Ah.
of diamonds and 8 of diamonds type hands? Or does he have more queen jack, queen 10 type hands here? King jack.
That's
ace,
difficult
10.
because obviously I hold a king and I hold a queen, so it reduces the amount of combinations.
Yeah.
Which makes it more likely that there's an ace of diamonds out there, but I would not discount it completely that he's just playing his broadways this way as well.
Yeah. So against his king queen that isn't, that was a draw, or his ace queen, his queen 10, his queen jack, his king jack, all those kinds of hands like that. You're thinking that those hands are going to call 20, and I agree they are. And you think they're not going to call 30.
It depends how colorblind they are.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if they're just clicking buttons.
Right. And if you chose to, starting with that 30 is about 2E, if you chose to target the diamond portion of his range, and you said to yourself that that's 40, that the 20 is at the pairs and the diamonds and the 40 is at the diamonds, then if he has half as many diamonds, even a little bit more than half, the play is more profitable to bet 40 because it's twice as much money going in. The pairs fold, but the diamonds call 40. Whereas at 20, the diamonds call 20 and the pairs call 20. So the ratio there matters. And so with that whole speech, that's the thought process: is find out what 2E is, because 2E is your baseline, and then decide what you want to deviate from. So with that in mind, you decide to bet 20 because I didn't change your mind with all that, right?
Well, you did change my mind.
All right, let's see what Lewis did. Lewis checked.
Do you want to know why I checked, or
not yet?
Okay.
I want because it's Mel's hand. So I want to know what Mel thinks of the check, and then I want to know what your reasons were. So Mel, what do you think about the check?
Actually, so because that was what I said earlier about NL10, right? Like whatever if you do a really big bet on that kind of texture, most opponents are going to fold. But even you could also have the thought process that even a tiny bet is going to lead to a fold. I mean, we don't have a lot of stats on the player, but I think the idea is to let them maybe catch something really good on the river, where they think that if I don't bet turn, they're going to lead out, and then they are in our trap.
Good. Okay. Now, Lewis, why
something like that?
Yep. So that's Mel's analysis of now what's
I'm trying to think. I think this card isn't that good for my range. My range is mostly like combo wise, it's mostly like big pairs. And like ace king. And I just think what cold calls twice, it's probably mostly like middle pairs and maybe a suited ace type hand, like but not many of like an ace jack. Actually, there's not many of those, but like I think he could have a lot of Broadway. I don't think this card's that good, because I was thinking if I have my aces, kings, queens, I wouldn't be that comfortable putting more money in, and then when I get called again, I think I could be behind a lot of the time. So I decided to like check and see what happens.
Gotcha. And would I be wrong if I characterized this as you're using this to protect your check back range? Is that what you just said?
I mean, I think I can check range here if I want, but I mean, betting's fine as well. I got the nuts. Like it's never a bad thing to bet with the nuts, but
gotcha.
It was a kind of protection thing, because like I don't think I'd bet. Say I have ace of clubs, ace of spades, I wouldn't bet here.
Okay. But Louis, do you like my reason to say let's say he has ace of diamonds. Now he can check back, and he will check back river if he doesn't hit. But he will always get value from ace of diamonds, even if he didn't even have a second card.
I mean, my assessment, I don't expect to see it like ace
Well,
diamonds here much
let's
at
see.
all.
Since he did bet, we're going to get to see whether Lewis chooses the check raise or the check call.
True.
My thought about this is that with an SPR, so go back one step before that money goes in. With an SPR of less than 2, that without any huge bets, we get to get it all in, so we don't have to be cute. We can just go bet 30, bet 60. So that'll work. And if he had much more money, we had to get it in. And if we go for the check raise now, the check raises which maximize fold equity, we don't want any fold equity here. So those are my thoughts. Now let's see what happens. So you check, he bets, and you. Well, then now Mel, let's go with you. Mel, it's your hand. If you take the check line, which was not your instinctual line, what do you want to do in response to his 15 big blind bet?
That's a good question. I mean, there's only 2 options. One is to call, but then we anyway have to put in the money on the river for ourselves because we're out of position. Or we do a check raise now, but it has to be small so that he's like, what the fuck is this? I will call it, kind of.
Yeah, you've got to make your check raise look like some sort of stop raise, which is insane.
Some
because you're
idiotic
out of position.
raise.
You can't do a
Yeah.
stop. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So those are the 2 options.
Okay. Let's see which one Lewis called. Let's see what Lewis chose. 40. Okay. And let's see what he does. He jams.
Okay, wow. Okay.
We call.
Oh my God.
He doesn't jam. We just go in. And his hand is 7-8 with a straight. So here's my thought, Lewis, on this, which is that this is great. All the money went in. I love that. Because the amount that your check raise got in there was 40, which is pretty close to what I was going to bet for against the diamond portion of the range. So your hand looks very strong when you check raise. And so you've exposed the strength of your hand without getting much more money in. So that's where the check raise advantage goes away. Now this guy happily went over your check raise with his 7-8, which meant he was going to go over your bet, which would have made it even easier. So against him, right? So when you just do the straight up bet of 30, he thought his hand was good enough because he thought his hand was good enough against your check raise, which is even stronger. So that's my argument. And the reason I said click raise, I will ban them, which is of course not true, is because the click raise put it to exactly 30. And 30 was 2E in the first place. And the guy respected LP enough to jam a straight for value. All right. Next hand goes to.
Before we go to the next hand, one more question. I mean, is there 2 questions? Is there merit in thinking first before so the button puts it all in? Should we spend a split second thinking about the fact that he could have a higher flush before we put it all in?
We want him to have a higher flush.
We got a nuts.
We have the straight flush.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't see it. Yeah, okay.
We want him to have a higher flush. We are sorry. Yeah, and against the bigger flush, the money always goes in. Now, if you take my line and he doesn't raise his straight here and he just calls it, if we bet 30, 35, something like that, and he calls, that king could fuck us because he may not put all the money in with his straight now that it's a 1-carder. So that's one of the advantages of Lewis's line. But that's against this particular guy in this particular hand. But I think it's likely that this particular guy was raising his 7-8, was raising his straight against us on our third.
Can you go back to the top?
Without the risk of him figuring it out.
What size bet do you bet here? 15?
What would I bet? I would start with 30 because it's 2E.
Oh,
And then I would look at it and go, how often does he have the draws that will call 30? And I thought we'll call bigger. So I was going to go to 35 here.
okay. So I would go for small sizing because equity changed, and now let's say I have pocket aces here. I don't want to bet like 25 and
Mhm.
lose. So I would bet like maybe 17, 16, so that 1/3.
Yep.
Somewhere around
Because
1/3.
exactly.
And
Because
now if he jams, which he would probably do with his hand because he shows that he likes
Mhm.
his hand. Yeah, it would be the same, I guess. I'm
But
not
Bob,
sure, but maybe.
here's the difference. Yes, with your hands that don't want to play for stacks, you don't want to go 2E. 2E is setting up to make sure that it's all in. And one
Mhm.
pair doesn't want to be all in on this board. So you have a play for stacks range with some bluffs, and then you have a not play for stacks range with some protection with the nuts. That you have to do that to be balanced if you're trying to be balanced. But the bulk of each of those ranges is doing what it wants to do.
Okay, maybe I'm
And
doing a
this hand,
mistake
yeah,
here, but I would merge all these ranges together on a
okay.
not changing card when I'm out of position.
Yep, that's what Lewis did. That's what Lewis said was I wouldn't do this with ace king without a diamond. I wouldn't feel comfortable even doing this with my overpairs. So that's why I'm checking. I'm protecting
Mhm.
my check range. And then he walks into the
Um,
trap.
One more question. So earlier you explained this concept to me, right? That you can go with your sizing a little bit higher if they have the ace of diamonds, but you have to stay a little lower than that if you want to target the broadways.
Yes.
And so since we do, regardless of whether it's this board or any other board, since we actually do not know what is more likely, I mean, maybe we know it because of the way they played or whatever, but let's assume we do not. Should we just go for the middle of both of these worlds?
No,
No.
no. This is the thing that in this group we call the Valley of Brian, is that if there's a part of the range where 20 makes a lot of sense and a part of the range where 60 makes a lot of sense, 40 is not a good choice because 40
Okay.
gets the 20s to fold and doesn't charge the 60s enough money.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
So that valley where we have a bunch of hands that want to go small and a bunch of hands that want to go big. The middle is not your best bet.
Okay.
And that's something that we're trying to get around. Okay, cool. So next hand is Jack 10 offsuit. And if you want to turn on your mic and play this hand, you are welcome to. You're also welcome to lurk. But if it's not Michael 2, 3, 4, it is Rob. All right, Rob, it is you.
Rob said be right back 3 minutes
Oh,
ago.
Rob, be right back. Okay. In that case, it is Larry. And we have Larry. Oh, we lost Larry. It is Bub.
All right, let's see. Oh man. I know it is a mistake to limp from a small one, but I guess against two limpers, which look super fishy,
Different
I would
rules.
limp
Oh,
here.
Yep.
I'm not
Absolutely.
I'm not ISO racing.
Yep. That is absolutely correct. And there is nothing wrong with it. Against limpers, we absolutely have a completing range. We don't have it's a different world. And Jack 10 is a
Yeah.
great complete. I love it.
Okay.
Yep.
That board is very good for us. It's actually a completed board. We could think about check raising here. So so first of all, I would start with checking. And yeah. And here I would probably raise to 6 big blinds and win.
Yep.
Hopefully.
This is your best guy to check raise, the guy in the last seat, because he's going to be betting the widest. So that's good. Your normal check raise instinct on a board like this against when you go, I'm in the big blind, I call with a Jack 10, I check, he bets, I check raise hands like this. that you should not be thinking of because you're multi-way. Multi-way changes.
That is true, but I know on
Yep.
this board,
Yep.
that's the reason I want to check raise here is
Mhm.
997 is a completed equity board, which means I can have 9x
You
and
could.
9 is complete. So I have trips.
If you check
That's the reason
raise, if you check raise to like 6,
Yes.
and both these guys fold, and now button goes all in, like what do you do?
Because he's only got
Uh,
17. But you have to
If he
fold.
jams,
Yeah, we just fold.
oh, he actually has only
He
20
only has
bigs.
17.
Damn, 20 left. Yeah, but anyways, I would fold if he jams. I don't
Yeah.
care. I think he will fold anyways.
Right. So with 17 left, he knows that his downside is limited. So that's a little scary thing about it. With
True.
it being a multi-way board, that's a reason not to check raise it. So his stack and the reason to check raise it is he did it from the last seat, which is the most likely one. So those are the competing things. And with that in mind, you went for the check raise and Lewis went for the call. Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think calling is fine.
I
Calling
think
is
my
fine.
thinking was like if I check raise and he jams, like I might be getting close to the odds to like call with
Mm,
my like if he's like because he might just get in with a flush draw, right? But it's kind of close. So I just decided to call.
His flush draws often beat you if you don't improve.
Yeah. I
That's
don't know.
he just
Yeah, I think
always-
you can check raise. Actually, yeah. Maybe it's just you want to rip fault. It's just I think with the stack depths it was kind of confusing, and
It is.
it's 4 ways. Like big blind can easily have a 9 as well. Like it's So
I think
I played a bit conservative here.
would anyone fold here? Because I think that would be the only question to ask. Would anyone just fold? Because I feel like no, it's pretty tough, right? I mean, we could fold here as well.
We could.
Yeah.
We could.
I think
If we
every
have-
option's on the table here.
If we have only 4 outs, if he has a 9 or
Pocket queens.
pocket queens, which he doesn't in this line, he flatted. He doesn't have pocket queens with 17 left over. He doesn't. But if he did, we are barely getting the right odds. Just saying, we're just barely, and that's against the best of all worlds where we're beat. But
Yeah, Scotty,
the
you
other-
check raise here. I'm trying to get better at these limped pots because they're a bit like of a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like there's no good framework, so I just want to get like views. So you check raise here, Scotty, or
No.
I can give you a hand. You would always check raise here. Queen 9 of spades. And you always
You mean
go
you can't have
broke
queen nine
with that
spades.
into it.
Kind of something.
Oh, sorry.
Queen
Oh,
nine,
that's a really bad hand to explain. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Personally, I wouldn't check raise in this spot because it's multi-way. Everyone
Yeah, I
linked
wouldn't.
is so easy for someone to have a 9,
Yeah.
Just like they can have anything.
Yeah, Vic is not 9-less right now.
And
Judd
you
is-
really don't want to go broke in a limped spot,
Yeah.
I would just try and get there for 2 big blinds. If you get there, great.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
like it's
and-
so easy for someone to have a 9. You wouldn't believe how often someone sat there slow playing a 9. They limped. They're passive people. They've got
Yeah.
sat there with a 9, slow playing it because they're just passive.
Yeah, and I wouldn't check raise here because of the two things of in multi-way I wouldn't want to do it, and against the short stack I wouldn't want to do it. I would consider folding Jack 10 here, just folding it, and with the Jack of spades, that's going to be the change over where I go, yeah, I'll call it. Right. Now on the turn, what do you want now? Having not check raised it, what do you want to do, Bub, on the turn? You didn't check raise.
I mean, I would just check. Probably check call depending on the sizing, or check fold.
Yep. All right.
I'm not leading out here.
I agree. You check. Goes check.
But that's the problem with the check call line, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because if we would have check raised, it would be a little bit easier here.
Yep.
Okay. Against this sizing, oh man. I mean, he can have a flush, but I cannot fold against 3 big blinds with this hand. I just want to call.
Okay, and I'm gonna fold here, and you called, perfectly fine.
And I lose a lot more chips here. I see it coming. Okay, we check. And button jams. Not. No, we
Check
win.
around,
We win.
we win.
Lucky. Just
We
hit
win
your
lucky.
jack on the river.
Yep.
God thanks is not a spade, right?
Right.
I mean, we had a decent amount of outs on the river.
Now
I don't know.
let's look at the hand in its real world sense, what they actually had here. So expose them up, which is we thought we were drawing for an 8. An 8 we would lose in multi-way, so that's worth seeing. On the turn, we thought we were drawing for our spade. Our spade would lose.
How do you like my check raise on the flop?
If you check raise this flop, those
Actually,
eights-
I have
There's
no
no
chance
way
of
bottom
getting them
folds.
out. Yeah,
but
that's the
but the
problem.
button stays in with only because he
Yeah.
only has that many big blinds left. That's the problem. He has the ace of spades. He stays in, and on the turn, you are well the fuck behind him with 12% equity on the turn against the ace 7 of spades. Less than 12% because your 10 of spades is a loser. So you don't even have 6 outs. You have 5 outs. You're 10% to win this on the turn off your check raise, and he's not folding.
It's a fucking setup, right?
Yep.
Did I play this hand okay then, or should I have like done something? I mean,
Well,
I still
love
like
that
the
they-
raise on flop. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I love that they checked it through. That's great. I love that you got there. I don't hate the call on the flop. I was saying I'm going to call or fold, and I was going to call with a jack of spades. So I played it the same as you. So we're both wrong.
yeah, I suppose on the turn, when the spade comes in, it becomes somewhat likely someone has a flush or
that's
a
right.
9.
You called the 3 big blinds. No, I fold the turn.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
let's look
3
at your
and 2.
equity. Go back and look at your actual equity on the turn, because this is not a surprising thing. Because remember, the problems here is when Juddy is on a draw, he can check raise you, and you just threw away 3 big blinds. So Juddy has to call you here. And what has he got that he overcalled once? All right. So let's look at this. When he bets the 3 big blinds, you're saying this says that you have 30% equity, and do you really? Because can you switch it over to show all hands face up? I think it changes his equity. Show known cards. Here we go. Here's your real equity. You have
Yeah.
12% here, and you put in, and you needed 19 to call. And sometimes Juddy raises you, not with this hand, but sometimes in the world. So I like to fold here on the 3. That's the difference.
All right, next card, next
Okay.
hand.
Next hand goes to Michael. If you're here, you get it and you want to take it. Rob, if you're back, you get it and you want to take it. Larry, if you're here and you want it, you get to take it. And
I'm
none
back.
of you are. Okay, it's yours. It's Rob. All right, we're on Rob.
All right, let's see here.
Worth noting, this guy on this Daddy Vegas 6 is a fish,
Yay.
like a whale.
Yay.
Okay, let's see here. Try to remember your pre. I wasn't raising high enough. So like at least 6'5", something like about 6'5".
No. So if your theory here, if you're going to ISO, is ISO pot size, which is 4.5, and Mike likes to ISO to 4 instead of 4.5. But the
Oh,
thing
okay,
is,
okay,
this guy is a whale fish. He's probably calling your ISO. So
okay.
I don't know that you want the pot to be that inflated with you having no room. I think you just want to do a raise that he calls, play against him in position, outplay him or outflop him, and not let the other people in to turn this into a multi-way hand where you don't want to be multi-way against the whale. So I think you want to go smaller on your ISO. And with a bigger hand, you could go bigger on your ISO. All right.
And you're getting, wait, you're getting 4.5 because from what we
Pot
would be
size.
putting in?
Pot size. Standard ISO size is the size of the pot in position and the size of the pot plus 1 unit out of position. That's just your standard to start with.
Why are we
I
why are
think-
we ISOing 10-7 suited? Like
Because he's a whale.
it's
No,
this
no,
is
no.
not even so like we should be ISOing with something like with a cutoff range, right? Against the limper on the button.
Mhm.
We
Yeah,
can-
cutoff range has
widening-
that in it
widening
though.
because he has a
10-7
VPIP.
suited's in there to raise.
Right. We're widening our range because he's got a VPIP of 74. We're expecting to get called. And we're expecting to be in position against someone who plays badly, and that's enough. The fact that he only has 49 big blinds is bad because it kind of fucks up our maneuverability a little bit, but it's still worth it. That's why. You could make the argument and say, I want a better hand against the fish, and you're allowed to fold here. If you want a better hand against the fish, you could fold. You could call.
I mean, if we
but I
know
don't
if we know he's gonna call, why don't we just limp behind and
we
try
wanna
and see
be-
a cheap flop?
because we want to be heads up against him. We want to.
I mean, you can limp behind. That's an option. Like, I think everything's valid here, other than
Everything-
jam.
As Mike points out, we just want to be ISO. We want to be heads up against the fish in position. That's what we want. And the only thing wrong is that he is a short stack. So LP makes it extra short, which is extra small, which is good because we expected the call and it gives us more maneuverability post flop and it knocks out both the blinds. Oh no, it doesn't. But then this happens. What would you like to do, Rob?
Okay, I have a quick question prior
Yes.
though, because I'm reading the pot size as 2.5. So what are you guys adding in? Like what my call?
here's
Like where are you
yeah.
getting 4 or 5?
Okay, go back. I'll show you how you get it.
Thank
First of all,
you.
the calculation is just 3 times the last bet plus the dead money. And here's why. The pot is 4.5 now. I mean, it's 2.5 now. But
Okay.
the first thing that happens is we need to call. So we call and the flop is, and in the old days of the fake poker and westerns, I see your one and I raise you the size of the pot. So I see your one and now the pot
Right.
is 3.5. So I've got to raise 3.5 the size of the pot, and that makes a total of 4.5. Got it? That's why. After we call, the pot is 3.5, and we're doing a pot size raise, so we have to do an additional 3.5. Size of the pot, 3.5 plus 1 is 4.5, and the calculation that always does that is 3 times the last bet plus the dead money. All right.
Yeah, he's not the one. Let's see. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's VP 40 up there.
Crazy guy. The crazy guy has
Yeah.
folded, which surprises us a lot that he folded
Yeah.
0.5.
Yeah, but even this
With
guy's got a
even-
pretty big VP.
Yes.
Um,
Now we're here.
he doesn't fold a lot on the. Well, I guess he folds 54, but I mean, yeah, I would bet small. I would bet small. Like 3.3. Yeah, 3.3%, like 33%. Yeah, it's like 2.8, so that's perfect.
That works.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet big here for a different reason, but small is a default, and then sizing up is nothing wrong with that.
Just to represent an ace?
No,
Is
I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
Afterwards.
why are you
Alright.
betting small? You got 2 pair. Why bet
That's
small?
right. Yeah, we're gonna come back to that on it.
He's
But
never folding an ace, yeah,
Right.
and he's never folding. He could have a Broadway, like a gut shot or something.
I think I'm more
Mhm.
worried that he thinks I have an ace because I'm on the button, and that's why I thought to fold. To raise small,
Right.
because I'm disguising my 2 pair, and if I bet too high, he's gonna be like, oh, he's on the button, he has an ace. I don't know. Like people, I've seen people fold to aces a lot on the flop, so
they
that
do.
was my thought. That could be totally wrong, but that was my
Nope.
initial reasoning when
It's
I
not
said
wrong.
that.
It's not wrong, and Lewis bets small. At the end, we're going to give the counter argument to it. But all of what you said isn't incorrect, but there's a different analysis on it. Rob, do you want to do that now, or do you want to wait till the end?
Oh no, go ahead and just say it
Sorry,
right now
sorry,
if you can.
Josh, did you want to give your reason? So Rob said, but people fold on ace high boards all the time. And that's why I want to bet small. So do you want to do the counter argument to that, or do you want to just let it go and then
Yeah, if he's got an ace, he's just not folding, you know. And
If he has an ace, I'm worried that he thinks I have an ace.
Okay,
That's
good
that's
enough.
my
Perfect. Okay, we'll
being on the
loop back to
button.
this at the end. Let's play it out, and then we'll loop back to
Right.
that
this
issue.
hand is vulnerable as fuck, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So we bet small. The jack comes. He checks. What size would you like to go, Rob? Or do you want to check back now that the king queen has completed, as has the 10 jack that beats you, as has the ace jack that beats you?
I want to continue small again.
Let's continue. What size?
We
Did you
did
say
2-8. Like 5 or less, like five. Yeah, around.
okay? Good enough. And once again, I disagree. I want to go big here. Let's play it out. Let's see what Lewis did. Lewis went 2/3, so medium big. Let's see what he does. Call. All right. The 4 on the river. He checks. What size you want to go, Rob? You went small, then you went big-ish. What size?
Yeah,
you
that
want to
we went bigger.
go? Yeah. What size you want to go now?
So at least, I mean, I'm thinking like 75%.
Okay. And I want to go at least the pot.
Okay.
Let's see what he does. Lewis goes 75%, and our guy folds. All right. Good enough. So here are the differences. First of all, you are right. People fold on ace high boards all the time. They fold to big bets all the time on ace high boards. They also fold to small bets on ace high boards because they have nothing. So I want to target the part of his range that isn't nothing. And when you
Okay.
look at this board, if he has pocket sixes, he's going to fold almost all the time. And if he has king eight of clubs, he's going to fold all the time. So I'm getting folds from all those. So I don't need to bet small. Betting
Okay.
gets me calls from pocket eights, pocket nines. Yes. Betting big, I might lose. I'll get one bet from them, maybe. Okay, that's good. And they both, and jacks, queens, and kings, which he doesn't have because of how the line went. He's got, he doesn't have any of those really. But 10 jack, which he has. We'll call the small bet. Maybe it'll call the big bet. Maybe it won't. So maybe you capture some value from jack 10 that I don't. Right. But now let's look at the
Okay.
other parts of his range.
Can
The
I have a
part
quick?
of his-
I have a quick question. Would you
Yeah.
do that same approach if you actually had an ace?
A good ace, yes. A bad ace, no.
A bad ace, no. So a bad ace, you would bet small.
Right. So here's no bad ace. I'm going to consider checking back. So
Okay.
here is the thought process about ace high boards. And you can take this or leave it, but understand the reasoning. A hungry horse on this board plays an overbet or check strategy. And his reason is that unlike other boards where people raise with their strong stuff and call with their weak stuff so that you can later outplay them on later hands, on ace high boards, they don't. They often slow play aces because they can, because they're not vulnerable.
Mhm.
So he doesn't get the information he wants. So he's going to be betting with his good aces and his high value bluffs, which in this case has got to be the 8-9 of diamonds, 8-9 of spades, and 8-9 of hearts. Those are really the highest equity bluffs we've got. I don't even really love the king jack, king queen of any of those for that. We want really high equity. Or his best aces and everything else checks. That's hungry horse. I'm not saying you need to play that way. And those are his.
You said you're betting high with your bad aces or good aces? I'm sorry.
No, my good aces. My
Your
value.
good aces.
Bad aces,
Okay.
I
And you're
check.
checking with your low aces.
That's what hungry horse is doing.
Okay.
And those are his reasons.
Right.
My reasons on this board are I want to target the inelastic portion of his range on this board because the elastic portion is folding a lot anyway. The inelastic is what's calling me the most, which is all of the ace X, which I have crushed right now, which I am vulnerable to, but I still have it crushed, and all of the Broadway, king, queen, king, jack, queen, jack, which is all pretty inelastic, and I don't mind if it folds.
Okay.
Bub is calling this board dynamic, but it's not dynamic, but your opponent doesn't see it as dynamic when he has an ace. Okay.
No, yeah, the thing is, they will call me regardless, right? But
Right.
I wouldn't go like ace eight. I would not bet like pot size or over pot. I would just bet small or check.
Mhm. Right.
Because
And with your best and with
they
your
can
ace
have
king
jack.
and 2 pair plus. With your ace, king, ace, queen, and 2 pair plus.
Yeah.
What do you want to target?
Exactly.
Right. And in this case, when your 2 pair is the bottom 2, the other reason I like betting big is you unblock the ace. So it makes it easiest that he has an ace. So I want to target the ace for value, and I want to target the king, queen. I want to target the gut shots. And by the way, also 8, 9 to pay the most. And I don't care if they fold, because I do not care if they fold their 4 outs against me, because their 4 outs hurt, because it's hard for me to fold later. All right. So that's why I'm betting big here. I do not mind the bet small, because let's get value from everything. So now let's go forward. So you either bet and here. So I'm betting, 6, 8, something that an ace would call, but I'm perfectly fine with the 2.8 for your reasons. But here's why the turn is different. Okay, turn comes. Turn is the jack. Now we have gotten all the value that we're going to from a 7. We've gotten all the value that we're going to from pocket 8s. They're not calling again. So now with this thing, we've got, who's calling us again now? Ace, ace, king, ace, queen, doesn't have a lot of that. Ace 9, ace 8 with their gut shots. They're all calling us now. What size will they call on this 14? They'll call 14. And everything else was folding anyway. Now, am I beat here sometimes? Yes. I'm beaten by 10 jack that's in his range. I'm beaten by jack 7, which isn't. And I'm beaten by ace that, happened to be an ace 10 to start with, which wasn't there, and the ace jack. I'm beaten by all those.
King, queen, 8, 9.
King, queen. Yeah, I'm beaten by all of that. But I have a flush draw to go with it. So I'm not afraid of betting big here.
True.
But I want to target all of the things. I want to target so much of his. And I think all of that is going to call 14. And you wanted to bet 5 here against all of that. That's why I disagreed with it. Does that make sense now?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Right. And Lewis found the 10. I'm thinking for the same reasons. And now, Lewis, my question for you is, in game, tell me about the 10. And now with this analysis, do you still want to choose the 10, or do you want to go bigger?
I want to go bigger, but
Okay.
I mean, this guy doesn't free bet, so you can easily have like way more nutted hand than you expect, like
You
king,
can.
queen,
You can.
jack 10, ace
Mhm.
jack.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I played this yesterday. I was playing like 4 reg tables and like
Right.
2 Zoom tables, so
Uh-huh.
I probably just didn't think about it too much.
Yeah. All right. Given the analysis, anybody here not want to go like 14, 16, 13, want to go big and, at least close to pot or over pot? Is there anybody here who wants to continue with 2/3 or smaller? Because if you do, you're not wrong. I just want to hear the counter argument.
It's also worth noting, like, for some reason my HUD doesn't work in
Okay.
game, so I can only see like the website HUD, so it's
Yeah.
not as like in depth as this.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just see what like I would have seen at the table, like in that session. Like this monkey guy, I played 1,000 hands of him, but I would have only seen his stats like from the session.
If you want some counter argument to going bigger, it would be just equity completed, right? And normally when equity completes, we don't go for overbets like 120% pot or something like this. And here, 8, 9, king, queen completed. So I think the sizing is perfect, actually. I would go bigger because we think this opponent is not a GTO opponent, right? But yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise,
So,
I think it's a good reason to don't go for like pot size or bigger.
okay. I like that. So, Bub's reason is not super hand specific, not specific to this specific hand. It's the general thing when equity completes, which it did on both of the straights completed. When equity completes, we don't tend to go big. And with this particular hand, in this particular case, I would still choose big because I have the flush draw to go with it. The 2 pair is not enough. It's the flush draw that goes with it that allows me to go equity completed, but I still have a pretty damn good draw. And I usually have the best hand. All right.
If he raises, you're gonna fold your pop bet though, or no, because of the flush draw.
Let's see how big he goes.
I mean, if he jams,
Oh no, I meant like in your
you're
if
dicey
your
spot.
pot size. Your pot size bet, Scotty.
Yeah. So I go 14.
Right.
Mm,
If he raises you,
Yeah.
what,
So let's see. His
obviously
side-
you have an idea what you're gonna do then.
if he does a
Because
click
it's different if you're betting pot.
right.
So
If he does a click raise, I'm calling him instantly. And my reason is this. How many outs do
oh,
I think I have? I think all my hearts are good. I think he has a hand like 8, 9, or king, queen. So I think I win with a heart. I think I win with a 7. I think I win with a 10. That's 13 outs. That's 26%. And he goes, and I'm in
and that
position.
gets you there.
Right. And I'm in position, and he's offering me if he click raises it, then the pot is offering me 3-1, right? His bet, my bet. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, if he click raises, sure.
Click raises, it's easy because I'm getting the express odds.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
he slightly more than click raises it, I'm still okay calling because although I don't have the express odds, I have the implied odds because there's still implied odds left. Not a lot, but they're there.
Right.
And he's not. And is he going to see the 7 or the 10 as a fold? Is he going to fold to my river bet? Maybe not with his king queen. Is he going to see the heart and check? Probably. He'll probably see the heart and check. And if he jams, I'm going to fold.
You are in a fold or jam.
I'm going to
Okay.
fold to jam.
Okay.
I'm going to fold to a
Because
jam.
you just lost position anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm going to fold to a jam, but I'm going to stay to a click plus. And if it's 3x my size, I'm going to look at it and cry. All right, there we go. Up next, we have, that was Rob. Rob went. Michael's microphone is not working. So Mike, if you want, Michael, if you want to participate, you can write in the chat what you would do on each street at the same time as the person who's talking, just so you can be more involved. You don't have to, but you're allowed to. Moving on to if you fix your microphone, Michael, then you're in. And Larry, would you like to take a hand? And Michael is gone. So screw that guy anyway. Larry, if you want, you can have a hand, but you're busy. Bob has taken a hand. So we're on to Lewis, who doesn't get a hand. We're on to Mike. Mike, are you microphoneable?
Mike or Michael?
Mike, no, Mike, you. Mike,
Yeah,
it's you.
I'm microphoneable.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, very nice. Squeezy. I'd make it 13.
Yay.
14.
Yay. Right. And Bub,
Ooh,
just so
fold.
you know, it would be profitable to call the ace jack suited here. It would just wouldn't be as good a play. Ace jack suited is a good enough hand to do this, and to go multi-way out of position with a suited ace is okay.
Yep.
But it's not great. And if you remember the Matt Affleck, who's better than all of us, who said being out of position sucks and being out of position multi-way sucks twice. So 3-bet is even better, is the best here. And then you get this weird call from the big blind. Good for him. And we're out of position anyway. All right. Suffer.
Well, the cold call is worrisome, obviously, because it's going to be a pretty strong range to a 3-bet cold call. We know it's not the top of range. This board is pretty good board to, if we see bet, we can go really big if we want, like not just your standard B33 type C bet, if we want. And I kind of feel like his range is going to include a lot of that ace king, ace queen type stuff that's maybe doesn't need to go big, but he has all these pairs that aren't folding to anything.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's kind of tough. It might not even be bad just to like check and give up to this kind of action here, but I hate not c betting a 3-bet pot like this. So
let me put one voice in your head so that you don't, I'm not saying you shouldn't bet here, but just one voice in your head so you don't have to go with that hate. Mark Goons, who has very nice neck tattoos, checks range in his 3-bet pots, just checks range. So
yeah, I really kind of feel like that's what we should do here as well. Not that I'm checking range here. I don't think I would check range because if I had aces or kings, even queens, I'd be betting, almost certainly betting.
And betting big.
Yeah, and I'd
Betting big
maybe
because,
not necessarily betting big with those hands.
oh, okay. But you
Maybe not,
expect,
because they're still calling with their eights and nines and tens and jacks and
yeah, right. That's the thing is you expect them to call with their eights, nines, tens, and jacks here. And even their pocket sixes. You expect them and fives with the
right.
check.
Yep.
You expect them to call, which is why ace jack should also expect them to call.
So yeah, I think checking is good. And if you're taking the strategy of check range, then we check range. But I'm not taking that strategy. But I am checking this hand.
Okay. And then one more thing here. If you if you put him on a range of Broadway-ish cards, they're going to fold and pocket pairs that are not. Given the size of the pot, do we have enough depth to get a pocket pair to fold by the river? Maybe
I mean,
not.
you could, yeah,
I mean, we
sure.
could certainly if the board gets scarier. We like scary boards, but if the chord comes blankety blank blank and he doesn't improve, we bet 10 or 20 here. The pot goes up to 80, goes up to 50 to 70, and he's got 80 left. It's only so we got to just jam the turn and hope that they don't hang on a non-scary board turn. I don't like that either. So you check.
Yeah,
Let's
I would
discuss
check this hand in
those checks.
particular.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. Well, this is an interesting size because now it opens up some things that I
Yeah.
would consider check raising now. Um, but I don't think I will. I think I will just call this size
He
instead
is
of
giving
check
them the
raising.
express odds, not to the river, but express odds to the turn to hit an ace or a jack. This is great.
Okay. Do we want to? This would not really be any reason to dunk here. I don't think so. I would check. Oh man, it's so enticing, and because the ace jack or the ace queens and the ace kings could be doing this. This is, I feel like a decent part of their range.
And so could pocket fives and
Yeah,
pocket
and
sixes.
we have the, like you called it, the direct odds here just to
Yeah.
draw.
Yeah.
And in this case, I think that's probably the best thing to do
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
call.
Yeah. The
But
only mistake here would be to fold.
yeah, no, you can't fold.
Yeah. Yeah. So we know we're not folding. And is he betting small because he's trying to get to the river cheaply? Not particularly, because he could have checked behind and got there for free. And we don't mind getting to the river cheaply. I think maybe we both have the same interest in this hand. Okay. So you call.
Yeah, I'm gonna consider.
Okay. Right.
Yes,
And Lewis goes.
this is
And Lewis
fine. I'm totally on board with this too.
totally on board with this also. So Lewis, just to, Mike and I both agree with you, but say your reasoning out loud, the clear, so everybody gets to hear it. What's your reason for this? I like it.
I don't know. The reason I checked is on the flop was because I thought he had like a strong range because he cold called a free bet. So
Mhm.
when the big blind cold calls the free bet and we're small blind, I like to check up just a lot because we're out of
Okay.
position. It's a
Good.
bit of a so that's kind of my general
Right.
strategy because sometimes they cold call
Great.
in the big blind very strong, like aces. I've seen that. I saw that the other week.
Yeah. Great.
So yeah, so then on the turn, I mean, when he bets small, I actually don't know if I like my play. I don't think it's. I mean, I kind of know the result of the hand. I mean, the pros are that like if he jams, we can fold because we're like we have probably 20% equity when he jams. So then we're not going to get enough odds, so we can easily fold.
Mhm.
The pro is sometimes if he calls and we hit, we can stack him, which might be difficult on in any other spot because the SPR will be 2.
Okay.
So there's the benefit that if we hit, we could stack him if he's got like a big pair. Um, and yeah, but you know, the downside is if the guy ships it in, we kind of, we could have just taken our equity and, given us a chance to hit, an
Yep.
ace, a jack, or or a club, which all could have been good. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, we have to fold here, but
Yeah.
I
Clubs
don't
is a
know,
hard
like,
ace
because
or
I think
jack.
this guy's range is so strong. I just like, why would we check raise? Are we check raising trying to get ace king and ace queen to fold? Like, would ace king and ace queen play the hand this way? I don't think so.
We are
So yeah,
trying to get,
I was under the impression that ace king and ace queen would be here. This would be the decent part of this range.
and played it like this though. Bet
And
4.
played it like this. Absolutely.
Okay.
They're little bets. They're little weak bets. Yeah.
They're scared. Yeah, I don't know, but
Okay, but my counter would be, let's say he has ace king here. Why are we turning ace jack of clubs into a bluff? We could
Because on
use
the river, if we
ace
don't
jack
get
of
there-
hearts.
Bub, here's why. Because on the river, if we don't
because ace
get,
king folds.
it goes check, check, and he wins.
Yeah. I don't understand the question, Bub, because we're raising
Yeah.
to get the better hands to fold. Which
Yeah,
is
we're getting
But
ace, king,
with
pocket
it-
5s and pocket 6s to fold, and we think that that's a lot
How
of his range.
about
But
donk
this
turn
hand,
for pot? I think you can donk that, right? I
We
think
can
you
donk the
the
river.
turn.
Yeah, I was going to say before, whose hand was this? This is Lewis's hand. Before Lewis jumped in, I was going to say when we call here, I'm going to donk rivers like a lot.
Oh, okay.
When we don't hit, when we hit, and when we don't hit
That's on your check call line.
on the check call line. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I didn't even think of that. I
Yeah.
just thought that he's giving us the express odds to just draw and let's see if we get there. Bub
But
doesn't like
his
check
his
raise.
bet
Bub,
sizing, right? He never
no, I
has a
don't
set.
like.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
hold-
like the race here
Yeah,
at all.
Josh, finish what you were saying. I interrupted you, Josh.
Sorry, his bet sizing, he never has a set. So I don't know why he's just a. I would donk the. I think if you donk the turn for pot, he's got to be worried you've got aces or something. So unless he's got, queens, I think that's going to put a lot of pressure. If you donk turn jam river, that would be pretty good.
He doesn't expect that we have aces when we just call his flop bet. His small flop bet is often designed just to try to get raised. I'll bet small, you'll raise me and I'll know to fold. If you don't, I'll just keep nibbling at you with my 6, 7, my pocket 5s, my ace 3. I just keep doing that. That you don't have that all your overpairs will raise me at some point. That would fit his play. When he bets 5 on the turn, he don't got no sets. I think. So the reason we raise him here is that when he takes this weaker line, we can just take this hand away from him. And sometimes we don't even need to when we get there. And now the thing we hate though is if he jams on us. And who flat calls from the big blind in the ISO'd pot and then bets this small with the intent to jam. Are those the same guy?
Yeah, they just don't.
It's not the same guy.
He's never.
Who
I
has a
don't think he's
VPIP of
ever
20?
gonna-
Yeah. Who has a PFR of 5 and likes to check and does this small thing to jam? Not a lot of the same guys. That's what I think. All right. So that's my thought. Now, Bub, you don't like this play. Give me a quick explanation of what you don't like about the play.
Okay, can we go back to the flop because maybe I'm misreading the hand.
Okay,
But
yeah.
the flop
Yeah, let's-
was he bet 4 big blinds, right?
Yes, he bet 4 big blinds and we called. And I understand
And-
why you wanted to check raise him on the flop, but you didn't choose to. In this
Yeah.
case, you
And if I don't do that, I would just check call turn. We have the nut flush draw, and it's very easy to play from there. I mean, if you have any other hand to bluff, we have so many hands to bluff. We can bluff queen high on the turn. Why would we bluff this hand?
because we're bluffing with equity. We're bluffing with equity, but we're behind. We're behind
But
his range.
then a hand like even 10 jack would be better to bluff than this one.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Because 10 Jack has even less showdown value. I don't think we have showdown value right now, by the way. I really don't. But you're right, 10 Jack even more so. And 10 Jack has more outs. So there you go. I agree. But we didn't have the 10 Jack. So the check call line here makes total sense. We're getting the express odds we're offered. I like that Mike is going to donk a lot of rivers, whether he gets there or not. I really like that. And the check raise is the donk in advance. All right. So we took the check raise line. And in the check raise line, let's see what happens. He calls.
Yep. So, okay. So he called. Well, fantastic. The king of clubs is fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do anything but jam here.
Exactly. Just jam. Yep. Get called by. Do we ever know? Pocket tens. Exactly the hands we were talking about. Pocket pairs. In this case, I'm surprised he bet that small with the pair bigger than the 9. That he didn't go bigger.
I guess he's trying to set his is he trying to set his price against the big pair? I don't know. Like hope the big pair just calls. I don't know.
That river
Yeah.
corners.
We
I don't
got
think
kind of
he's gonna-
saved here, but
Damn.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah, I think cool was better, but I mean, it seems like there was no consensus on this hand. Everyone would play a bit differently, and doesn't mean everyone's wrong. It's
Well, the consensus was that because he played it so badly, we would be correct here in a line of check call both times. That wouldn't be wrong. Check call, and he gets there, and we get there, and like this, and then we donk out on the river, but we don't get to donk for pot because we didn't raise.
I mean, what's interesting here, we should definitely donk here because like he might have ace king, but he might net check back.
So like, on this actual king of clubs, when we take the check call line, which was your first instinct, and it's certainly not wrong. What do you want to do when this king of clubs comes? And let's see what size the pot would be. Go back, please, Lewis. So the pot's going to be 30. The pot's going to be 39, and we've got 85 left. What do you want to do on the river?
No, it's going to be like
Oh, the pot would be smaller.
50. It's going to be like 50.
Wait.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Says if we
Yeah.
go-
Yeah, it's going to be 49. It didn't count that yet. So 49. So 50.
Oh, right. Yep. 49.
50, and we've got
Yep.
50, and we've got 85 left. What do you want to do on the king of clubs?
So if pot's 49, king of clubs comes, I would probably donk like 75%, probably.
Okay. And he calls or he folds.
Now, if it was the king of hearts,
It's
I'd
50
probably
and 90 left, actually. So it's like two SPR on the river.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I
Maybe-
mentioned that I would
maybe
like
we
to
should go
raise the
bigger.
flop. Do you think he would jam flop and then I fold? Which would be?
You mean
I
him?
mean that is basically looking at the hand how it runs out. But I said I would raise flop.
Okay. You raise flop. He calls you. Turn is the 9.
Maybe he jams. That's the problem, right? Maybe he jams.
Maybe he jams. I don't think this guy jams. I think this guy calls you.
And then I blast turn and
Right. So you're going to check raise. You're going to check raise. You're check raising the flop, right?
yeah, and then I
Okay.
blast turn and it's done.
He last turn. He often folds, but not always. And then you get there on the river. Hooray.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're not sure. Against certain people, you should play very different. That is true.
For sure. Who's next, Scotty?
Scotty is muted.
All right.
he must be taking a call.
I was. Next hand goes to, that was Mike got that hand. All right. So there we go. That was Mike. Next one up is Josh. And Larry, if you're here, you get to jump in and preempt Josh. But Larry is gone. All right. Oh, and we have spectating. So this hand goes to Josh, and spectating, if you want the next hand, you can turn, your mic is on. You'll be the one who plays it, and you'll see what we do. We do this. All right. So what do you want to do, Josh? Or on the button with
Um,
suited.
you you can just call. You know, if the cutoff openness, you could. Is he the cutoff or is he something
He's the
else?
cutoff. He's
Yeah,
the
we're
cutoff.
playing four-handed. He raised, yeah,
Okay, so
from
you
first
can
position.
free bet this even though he's short stacked. You know, kind of wants to just call. Just I think if he had 100 or 200 big blinds, I'd free bet it, but maybe just call. I mean, you know, yeah, I would just call.
So we do the raise this
Okay.
time, and certainly you don't hate the raise, right? You're fine with the raise.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, just wasn't your choice. Yep.
These are good to free bet against the cutoff, especially from the button.
They are,
Because
but
his-
again, you pointed out the exact right thing. The shorter his stack, the less good this is. We went
Yeah.
for it. Yep. Okay.
He checks. Now, I think you got to bet this with the backdoor flush, backdoor straight. So yeah, I would bet 66% or something. So I would bet like 10 or 11, something like that. But you free bet it, didn't you? Shit. Yeah. He called. Yeah, bet smaller. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's fine. Called. Okay, turn, check, check. I mean, what's he got? I wouldn't keep black barreling. I just try and hit a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now he checks. Now I think maybe we can get him to fold a queen. Okay. Do we want to bluff this? I mean, he seems like he's pretty strong for some reason, doesn't he? Do you want to bluff this? I think what? So what's he got? Jack 10, which you beat. Yeah.
King 10, Jack 10, all makes sense.
So you do beat quite a lot of his. You do
Right.
beat a lot, and has he a lot of his queens? Do they have an ace? Is he going to fold a queen just because you blast it on an ace?
He's
I
gonna
don't
fold
know.
a nine.
I think maybe this is. Yeah,
He's gonna fold a
I think
nine.
maybe just check. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I do want to bluff the river, but I can see why, you have value against his draws. None of the draws came in a meaningful way. So that's good. When he calls you ace high, when he floats you ace high, it's not going to work. But I want to fold, but I want to bet. I want to bluff out the 9. So I don't need to go that big, but I want to do it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Mike is betting.
Okay, so I would bet, like 22, something like that.
Okay. And Mike is going 35 to jam.
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
get queens to consider folding too.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
What do you think I did, Scotty?
Enough to get it. I think you have enough to get it. I think you do have enough to get a queen to fold. But I don't love, but the difference between 40 and 50, of 20 and 54, when he has an ace, I don't love that difference. Okay, there you go. Let's see what you did. Let's see what Lewis does. Lewis bets pot, aiming squarely to 9 and hoping for a queen.
Yeah, I'm trying to fold out a queen. I think a queen would fold for about this, but
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a queen fold.
because, a recreational may be scared of the ace.
Yep.
Yep. Then he folds.
Yay.
I mean, it's nice blocking, like, if he had 7s,
Mhm.
but,
Yep. I like, yeah.
Yeah, like
And
if
you
you had
very likely would have won this hand with a check back, but I like the bluff on the river.
if you had pocket 8s, I think it'd be better to check back. But
yeah.
or pocket 6s. But like, yeah, because you block the 7s, it's nicer to bet.
I'm definitely not bluffing 10s here.
Why do you like the bluff on the river more than the bluff on the turn?
Because on the turn, I have I've turned pure
The
showdown
ace high,
and the
the
ace
jack 10.
right, and the ace. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's why It's because the ace can easily get the 9 and more difficultly get the queen to fold. Whereas without the ace, I'm not getting the queen to fold. So if the river was a deuce, I don't turn my hand into a bluff. That's why.
When the river's not an ace. So
Or-
if you would bluff the turn with that hand, you would bluff it only on an ace. Basically.
On the turn, the ace comes. I think I
No,
might.
no, the turn was
No.
a 7, right?
No,
We
sorry.
made
No.
it pay on the turn.
Yeah, an
Right.
ace or a king would be good to bluff on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I probably wouldn't do the bluff on the turn when the ace or the king came because unless it was like gave me a backdoor flush. If I don't get any equity, I don't continue it.
I thought it's a good turn
Yeah.
bet because it's basically a very weak third pair.
Yeah.
That was my reason for betting it
Mhm.
on the turn,
Yep.
but yeah, okay.
But something else good happened. When I checked the turn and the river came and he didn't bet, I've now nicely filtered his range. So that's good too. And I didn't get that to happen until the river came and he didn't bet. Does it make sense? I got this extra information.
Yes, but ace high could be in his range more
It
often on the
could.
river.
It could. Yep, it could. That's a problem. That's why I wasn't bluffing. That's why I wasn't jamming like Mike said he might do. Mike was betting. He's turning into a bluff, and he said anywhere from 35 to jam. And I wasn't jamming because of the ace that's in his range.
True.
He'd
Okay.
probably bet at say he had ace jack, ace queen. He'd probably bet the river, I'd guess, a recreational with in my view.
Yeah. So his check was. So we like the check there. Yep. Okay. Ace king, and this one goes to. Let's see. That was Josh's hand. All right. So Larry, if you're back, this is your hand. And spectating. I'm going to hit ask to unmute. You don't have to, but if you want to, spectating, you can participate and you can play ace king suited from the hijack. A pretty good hand to play. And if you don't, then this is going to Mel.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously we're going to raise this up.
All right, good. We go to 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I went a bit bigger here because the way I was in the big blind. Maybe I could go even bigger though.
Yeah. Good call.
Yes.
Oh, I hate it already.
Really good. Yeah, with a V pip of 74, you could go bigger. I love that. Good adjustment. Okay.
Where's the VPIP of 70?
The big blind has a V pip of 74.
Ah, the big blind. Okay, yeah.
So he's likely calling a lot. And so he'll
Anything.
probably call a bigger bet than 3. I mean, I wouldn't go to 5 unless I've already watched him call bigger and bigger bets. But if he was the kind of guy who has a VPIP of 74, including the bigger bets, I'd go bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
Yay. This is interesting.
What is happening? Okay. Anyways, I mean, the VPIP is so wide, that's actually a problem.
Yes.
That's actually
Yes,
a problem.
I also have a question. Yeah. Sorry, because I know it's
Yeah, no,
Melanie's
go
hand,
ahead.
but it's VPIP 74. He has a 3-bet of 12 and he's 42 3-bets to 25. And his aggression factor is 2. Is that actually saying he is super aggressive or something? I don't know, because I'm just asking because these stats look like crazy to me.
I mean,
He's only 3-bet twice.
Oh, it's not that often. It's just
what is the PR again?
Pre-flop
It's
raise.
just pre-flop. Oh, and VPIP is general voluntarily put
Yes.
money in. But
Or
yeah.
he's super loose and quite aggressive.
Yeah. Daddy Vega 6. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't like it, but I think we're going to have to call anyway, because maybe he's just doing it with a weaker ace and he's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. We're never folding here.
Yeah.
The question is whether we're raising. Mike is raising because we're at the top of our range. I'm just calling but it's your hand.
Yeah, we have two
So you-
people behind. Maybe somebody else, has interesting ideas and wants to participate. So
Yeah.
let them.
So let's see what Lewis does. You took the call line. Lewis took the call line. So we'll get to move forward with that.
Okay. Now I would be really okay. Now he checks. That's interesting. If he's now afraid of the ace, I mean, either he has sixes and fours and he's trapping, or he's afraid of the ace, or he has just
Or
something in
6-4
between.
suit. Or he
Yeah.
started with 6-4.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
I think if we want to keep those hands in that are not so good because he's so wide, I think it would be beneficial to go for a smaller sizing. And we shouldn't be afraid of the hearts, I guess.
No. We shouldn't be afraid of
No.
the hearts. We shouldn't be afraid of the 5-7.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, so your size was going to be smaller than this. You were going to go
A
like
little bit smaller, I would
you're
say.
going to go 10, 12, something like that, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Now I'm going to give you, before we go forward in the hand, since he didn't, I want to ask you a question. So you go 10 and he calls you, and the river is a muffin. The river is a hot dog. It's not even a card. It's just, it is the 9 of diamonds is the river. How big, and he checks you, how big are you betting on the river? After betting small, after betting 10 on the turn.
Like the pot is then 65.
The pot will be 46. You bet 10.
Whoops.
46 and
Yeah,
he's got 100 and you've got it's 80. You've got 70 left. So 45, pot's 45, you've got 70 left.
I would bet big between. That's a good question. It depends on how call happy he is and what we know about him. Either, I mean, between the lower end is 75%, maybe up to 110. And then he's still going to call maybe with 2 pair or whatever he has,
Right.
or 1 pair, or I don't know.
Okay. So we're
But
going to
is this again a lesson about this sizing thing?
Yeah. So we're
Yes.
we're going to play it out with his sizing in a second. But here's when you go small here, I think it is critical that you jam the river, that you overbet jam. And here's why.
Yeah.
You bet small to try to keep in the weaker part of his range, right?
Yeah.
Weaker part of his range is probably not calling another bet. So now you need to target his ace X that has bad kickers.
Yes. I could have done that from the beginning then.
You could have, but you did get the value against that smaller part of the range. So anybody who bets, so when we bet here 23, we are having him fold out the 6-4 that he had. And that's, because we said we don't want anything from that. We're trying to only get value from the ace part of his range. Now, let's talk about for a second the pocket kings, queens, jacks, 10s, 9s, 8s, 7s that he has here. How many of them bet the flop with an ace on board? Not a lot of them.
Few, yeah.
Yeah, few. Some of them, but not a lot of them. So his hand looks a lot like an ace, which we have crushed, except when it's ace 4 and ace 6. So far, until he raises us, his hand looks a lot like an ace and a 6-4. And 6-4 is not going to call again very often. So
it could also be, yeah.
Would he bet an
A gut
ace
shot.
though? Like this, recreational, obviously recreational,
Right.
splashy player.
you might,
Yeah.
you might.
Scotty,
pocket
I
fours.
went
We'll find out.
I
when we
went
get-
I went Geo here. Notice how if the guy calls and we jam the
Yep.
river, it's like the same. Am I
Yep.
wrong to go Geo here?
No, Geo is your default. Geo is
Okay.
Geo is geometrical.
yes, Geo is geometric, or we call it 2E when it's 2E on the turn. And there
So
is
we
a
size it in such a way that we're all in by the river with
Yes.
the approximately same size of the bet to make it easy for them.
same percentage of the bet, not size. So we don't go 23,
Same.
23. We don't go 23 big blinds, 23 big blinds. We go 2/3 of the pot, 2/3 of the pot. And that's about what we're going to have here. We're betting 23, which is about 2/3 of the pot. The pot will go up to 40. Well, let's have him call and not even have to do the math. So go forward. Let's see what he does to this
No,
23.
he folded. He
Oh,
folded.
he
I guess you
right.
just have to train this kind of math, like how to do geometrical processing in your head.
And Derek gave us a formula for this that gives you an approximation of it, which was, does anybody remember what it was? You subtract the pot from your stack and multiply by 3. Was that what it was? I don't remember what it was. Next time
Yeah,
we
I
see
mean,
Derek,
I
Derek.
basically only play online, so I kind of just calculate it quickly. Like I don't actually do any calculation. I kind of just know.
I do this. I just do this. I go, is what would half pot do? Okay, that's not enough. What would 2/3 pots do? That's
But
too-
live, I have to think, like the rare times I play live, I have to think a lot because I'm like counting the pot and counting it requires a lot more brain power.
Right. But here, the pot's going to go up to, let's see, 24, 48 plus 36. It's going to go
Like
up
82, 83, something like
to,
that.
48 plus 36 is 74, isn't it? 84?
That
40,
would
no,
be
80, it's going to go up to 84.
82.
And there we are with 60 into 84, which is in the Clyde thing. So this is a tiny bit small for Geo, but who cares? It's, Geo is going to be more like 26, 27, 28, but that difference isn't important.
Interesting thought experiment. What do I do if, like, say it comes brick and the guy keeps shoveling money in? Am I supposed to fold? Like,
No. No, call.
Okay, right. Like even like 4 ways, and he's like bet.
No. Oh, not
I mean, if there are 2 callers behind you?
No, I mean
No.
like this guy donked pot 4 ways.
Yeah, he's a 74-51.
So say it comes like 8 jack and he goes bet jam. Like, am I supposed to like stack off here?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yes, we're going to stack off.
All right, he folds, but then he showed the 6-4 off.
6-4. Yeah, makes total sense.
So we got kind of lucky.
Yeah. And Mel pointed out the exact right thing about it, which was true, which was the fact that he's wide means he can have some of these things. Actually, that might have been Mel who pointed out. I think it was Mel who did.
Yes, I said that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And we're glad we hit the ace. That's wonderful. When the turn comes, it gives us 3 more outs. So against his 6-4, every blank on the turn, everything that isn't a 4 or a 6, we have an ace which wins, a king which wins, and then whatever. And then if that other card pairs, if it's a deuce or a 9 or whatever it is, if it pairs, we win.
So most of the time we just get stacked here, but we got lucky. Is that like a good way to think about it, or unless it comes like maybe like 3-2, maybe we can fold.
Look at what our equity was on the flop when we had to call. Go back with his hand open. Open up his hand. All right. He's ahead. All right. We have 30% equity right now to the river. There's plenty of implied odds behind. And what odds are we getting? Express odds right here? We're getting 33% express odds.
Yeah.
So this is to the river and we're fine. Now, we could be taking a dog of it against his exact hand on the turn. But on the turn, when the turn is a deuce of monkeys, we then have 3 aces, 3 kings, 3 deuces to win. We still have 9 outs. We still have a third of the pot. So if he bets, so on the turn, I'm sorry, not a third of the pot. That was 2 ways. We have 20% there. So on the turn, if he bets pot against this particular hand, we need to fold. But He also has other aces.
Okay, that's interesting because sometimes like say it comes brick and I get stacked here. Sometimes I just like feel like the biggest whale ever because I'm like fish donked 3 times. He probably had better than one pair, but I'm glad like other people were like stacking off here as well against like the whale. Um,
But he's
because
but
I
he's
mean I'm sure everyone's been there where you just
but he's
like,
a fish with a VPIP of 74 and a PFR of 51. And an aggression factor after the flop of 2.
yeah, I mean two's not crazy though. That's kind of
Well, it's not crazy.
average.
It means twice as often he's taking aggressive acts. That's all. That's all it means. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, okay. We'll consider folding the river when he jams it. But also, what's his size going to be on that?
I mean, we can get all in very easily when he pots the flop.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So maybe we fold the river.
now you're changing.
Because of your reasoning, because of your reasoning, because of your argument. I'm getting convinced by your argument.
Okay.
But Josh's point is right. He also thinks ace queen is good there.
Yeah, I mean, if he plays ace queen, like if he just calls ace queen, maybe the fish does 4 ways. I've seen that before.
Yep. Okay. Up after Mel, it is. Let me see who's up next. Mel, Andy. Andy's gone. Rob is still here, I believe. Is Rob still here? Or did we lose Rob? Rob is gone. Oh, it's 12:18. We're all done.